Hello everyone, welcome back to another Big Finish Fans. In today's Big Finish Fans, we're diving into the Fifth Doctor and Marc stories and doing a tier list to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of it, because Tartarus came out, 2 years ago today, and the Marc adventures have now concluded. So, we thought we'd do a classic tier list. Once
Yes,
again,
that was definitely planned. That was not a coincidence at all.
and there we go, we have Luke as well.
Yes, hello everyone. Sorry, I sort of cut off my own introduction there.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all good. So the way the stream's going to work is we're going to do some recent news. So we're going to talk about a little bit about Galaxy 4. Then we're going to dive into Big Finish news, do the Fifth Doctor tier list. So if people are watching this in the future who aren't watching it live, can have more of a condensed experience and actually get the tier list and all that sort of shenanigans, really. And
get what they click on the video for.
yeah, and at the end we might do a little Q&A if we have time, just depending how far we get through the tier list and what time it is, really. So let's talk about Galaxy 4. A bit of surprising news. I think it did leak on like a Swiss website, but
Yeah, and season 17 Blu-ray, wasn't it? Which hasn't been announced yet, but that's meant to be December.
Which you can probably guess maybe could be next week's announcement, maybe, or maybe in a couple of weeks' time. So what are your thoughts on Galaxy 4 being animated?
I think maybe the most exciting part about it is that because this is the Fury from the Deep team, it means that the Abominable Snowmen will be done by the Evil team, hopefully.
Which
and
makes
so
sense.
the lesser quality one gets pushed to the lesser quality story, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like from what we've seen, like that little trailer, I'm not going wild over this one. I wasn't a fan of the Fury animation. I think at least here color works better. Like it more suits this story. It doesn't need to be this claustrophobic black and white 4x5 feeling. It probably will lend itself more to that and be aided a bit more by the larger sets and larger style of story. But yeah, still not going wild about the animation. Hopefully they'll have improved a bit, given that 4 episodes. Hopefully they've had more time to work on it as well. I believe, yeah, because the Evil team had 18 months for that one.
I've heard really good things about Evil of the Daleks. Some are saying it's the best animation yet. So I'm really intrigued to see how it stacks up, really, after having that high praise.
Yeah, it's weird that we don't have anything from it yet. Like we had that short little teaser, but it's only 2 weeks away. Surely we could get
10
a clip
days,
or a trailer now. Yeah.
Unless you'd probably get one Monday, wouldn't it? Or the day it's released, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a bit of a strange thing. But Galaxy 4 for me, it's a bit of a. I like the story.
I don't mind it.
It's a nice little. I mean, I watched the recon on the Aztec special editions mainly to see. Is it Airlock, the story?
Yeah, episode 3 Airlock.
And I was like, oh, that's quite nice, and that's quite a nice little recon on it.
You get like 6 minutes of episode 1 as well, so that's a nice.
Yeah,
like the longest surviving clip.
Yeah, it works quite well. But the animation, from what I've seen, it didn't blow me away, but it sort of has that sort of charm of a 60s Doctor Who annual.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
So I know the steelbook looks stunning. I've pre-ordered it because it looks the superior release out of the bunch for me. But yeah, I'm excited for it, and it's good to see Hartnell have a bit of animation love after. I wouldn't say I was getting Troughton fatigue, but I wanted a little bit of a spice up, and we're getting that with Galaxy 4.
Yeah, because it has been about 5 Troughton stories now, hasn't it? Like this new wave of animations. So.
Yeah, well, is it 6 if you include like the special edition Power?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so certainly he has been getting a lot of attention.
Definitely has. So it's nice to see Hartnell get a bit of love, and yeah, I'm just glad it's not the Web of Fear animation team.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see. It might end up looking worse than that.
Well, we've got that nice little. I wouldn't even say it's more of a teaser, isn't it, with the sort of animation?
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Because it's filmed like it's a thing specially made to promote it. I don't remember it being in the story from memory.
Yeah. But it could be one of those like additions they do.
It could be
like the opening to Mark. Yeah, Macra.
Yeah, it could be actually. Yeah.
But like things like the blending of stuff feels really off. Like, remember Fury, when the TARDIS arrives, it feels very out of place and like not part of the scenery at all. I'm
got that
still
with the
feeling that with the
TARDIS.
TARDIS. Yeah, I'm still feeling that here. It all feels too flat. Like you don't have any depth to it.
I mean, the Jumblies look great. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're a bit difficult to mess up.
Yeah, you can't really mess up a little blob.
No.
I'm sure there'll be a little charming thing to see. But yeah, I wanted to see actually animated Hartnell, to be honest. I'm a bit sad that we didn't get to see a glimpse of it.
He looks a bit off on the cover.
Yeah.
Like, the resemblance isn't 100% there, but hopefully that's just a cover thing, because sometimes they are a bit off.
I don't get the image choice. It's like the Big Finish Companion Chronicles Volume 2 cover, where you've got Hartnell with his eyes shut. I'm like, that's not a good thing to put on your cover.
Oh dear.
But
yeah. I like the composition of it though, for a change. Like, often it feels very much all thrown together, like weird screenshots cropped from the story. But here at least it feels like a proper made cover.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, it's simple but effective, isn't it? Because you've got Hartnell, one of the Draven and a Chumbly, and like the planet at the background.
Yeah.
So you've got your story. You know what it's about, really.
Although now that you've mentioned that annual feel, part of me wishes they remade like that first Doctor Who annual cover with the animated Hartnell and like swap out the other monsters for the Dravens and Chumblies.
On like the Rill as well. Yeah, that would have been beautiful. Somebody make that, please.
Please. Hear our cries.
But yeah, I'll be very excited.
There we go. Stylish One says snazzy haircut, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And he said Hartnell looks very weird to me on the cover of the Galaxy 4 DVD.
Yeah, he sort of looks like he's mid sneeze.
Yeah, like we just said, it is a bit of an odd one.
Yeah, it's a strange one. Should we dive into the news? The Big Finish news?
Yeah, let's go for it. Got quite a few.
Yeah, because we didn't do last week, was it?
No, we didn't. We've missed, but that's only two things. So Jenny is first up.
Yeah,
Jenny versus Sidemen.
Yeah, which is pretty exciting.
You're tempted now, aren't you?
I am tempted now by the Jenny and the Sidemen. I'm just trying to find the little screen share thing, which I cannot seem to find at the minute. So it's me struggling. That's the wrong button.
Oh dear. Yeah. Also, our Cyberman design tier list is now outdated already, because
it is.
Expect this to come along.
Definitely did not expect Jenny to be facing the Cybermen.
No. I mean, I must say I'm more tempted by it now than I was before, but I still don't see myself picking this one up, because, there's only so much money I can spend on Big Finish before I feel really bad about myself. So November's a bit of a busy month. I've got a vinyl to buy. I've got unit to pick up. Jenny's going to have to skip out this time.
I think for me as well, I've technically committed to the series because I've got Series 1. So
I skipped out on that so I can...
It does feel like I'm more inclined to get it, and it does seem like a continuation of Series 1 with the villain, I think, played by Sean Phillips, the Colt 5000, the bounty hunter after Jenny. But yeah, we've got Dorian Maldavar, Vortex Manipulator there, and the companion Noah, and we've got Jenny wearing a Stetson.
It's a good cover, I'll give it that. Yeah,
because I think you said it doesn't have like a Western feel to it.
I mean, there is a story set in the Wild West, isn't there? Calamity Jenny.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Old West, yeah.
By John Dorney as well, so that's a positive sign.
Yeah, and it does seem to have like a Cyberman theme, so it doesn't seem to be like a gimmick of just one story of a Cyberman like the Ood in the second story of Jenny. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Yeah, I think that's Jenny, really. I think that's all we could really say at the moment, unless we get a trailer, and I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Stylish One says, Jenny really does look like Look like the writers doing whatever they want in a good way. Maybe an Cyberman origin story. Either way, this looks great. I love the Jenny spin-off. Yeah, it's a what's it called? Funny one, isn't it? With like the early Mondasian Cyberman, you think maybe it could be, or it could just be similar to what's the Eighth Doctor Mary Shelley's Silver Turk, because that has like a early Cyberman, but it's not an origin. So yeah, who knows? But
exciting.
yeah, you've already loaded up.
I've loaded
Off
up.
you go.
So we had the release announcement of December's Torture release for Grey Mare, which me and you are pretty tempted on getting, and hopefully we can do a Big Finish fans taking a look at this and the Crown, two Christmas Ghost Tortured stories. So I'm definitely tempted by this because it's playing with Welsh folklore, and anything with folklore I'm really invested in, because I think those type of stories lend themselves to the world of Doctor Who, and I just love that when Doctor Who takes stuff from our world and goes, this is our take on it.
And Torchwood can probably go even further with that horror as well, so that should be exciting. And it is a bit of folklore I've heard before, so
yes, yeah. Because I remember seeing it, because there's this hashtag on every Thursday. I think it's called Folklore Thursday, and I kind of have a little glance through it, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this bit of Welsh folklore. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. We've had the Grey Man of the Mountain in December 2020. Now we've got the Grey Mare in 2021.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
And next up, the really exciting stuff, isn't it? No details, but Eccleston is back for another
12 adventures.
12 adventures. He's got 24, and they call it Series 2, but it really is just straight away, like that same 3-month gap, isn't it? We're back in May, so it is just non-stop Eccleston for 2 years, really, which is crazy. Like, compare that to when Tennant started.
It's just a quick turnaround, really. It really is. Yeah. I feel like we're just being really blessed, and it just shows that Big Finish are just continuing the good work. And we've praised 2021 Big Finish, and 2022 Big Finish seems to be shaping up to be just as exciting, really.
Yeah, and it's nice to know, like, going into these next 2 sets, that we are set for the future for a while, at least, with Eccleston, because there was sort of that worry of when we get to Old Friends, which, that now has a title reveal. Volume 4 is called Old Friends. When we get to that, there is sort of that worry of, is this going to be the last we're hearing of him? Do I need to really savour this? But now, we know we're set for at least another year. Sadly, there seems to be a bit of a change in the release format now that, we're still getting vinyls, but
which is bizarre.
Yeah, really. It says it's slipcover box. It's like not slipcover box set, dual case and slipcover. So it's the double dual case, no more individual CD cases. But there might still be individual covers because it's got the vinyl to support that, hopefully. But yeah, it's end of an era, I suppose. Like,
it is
when
really.
Even Eccleston now isn't get. Like, if Peter Capaldi does join, or Matt Smith, are they going to get individual covers for a little bit and then lose them, or are they just going to go straight into the dual case format?
But then you mentioned the vinyl before we get started. Like, is the vinyl going to have individual cover art? How are they going to do that?
Yeah, I hope so.
Maybe that's like an incentive. If you pay an extra little bit of money, you get the vinyl and you get the cover art, maybe. So that'd be one way of getting us to spend more money.
Yeah, I'm sure, and you'll still get it on the download as well, and probably individual disc art if they do separate covers. I don't know, or maybe there's just a genuine mistake on the website.
I hope it's a mistake.
Yeah, same. Not that I'm getting the CDs at the moment anyway, but
yeah, it's nice to have that option. I can't afford
to double dip. Yeah.
I
I might have to switch up for the CDs with Series 2. These vinyls are getting pretty expensive.
See, I got the vinyl thinking, all right, this will be, this could be the only thing Eccleston does, and it's the first batch of Eccleston, so that's exciting. Now you've got that dilemma of Series 2, like, do I continue with the vinyl?
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one. It really is.
I'm surprised Big Finishers continue with the vinyls, to be honest. Like, you'd have thought, it's worth the extra splash for that first series, but you'd wonder, would it be viable for that many? But apparently it is, so there must be selling pretty well.
I don't think Ravagers are sold out, or any of them have sold out yet at the minute. I don't
No,
think.
not yet. But
I'm sure we'll get one of those tweets from Big Finish saying like 90% have sold, so get your copy now.
yeah. Like, how
yeah.
long did it take? I think it was like 9 months for 10th Doctor Volume 1 to sell out, the special edition of that. So
it's a bit of a shame they don't carry on with the special editions, actually.
yeah, I mean, I suppose if they do a 10th Doctor Volume 4, we'd know for sure what they're doing with that, if they even do one.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of thought 10 and River were sort of 10th Doctor Volume 4, really, but it's a completely different entity, that set.
Yeah, and then you got... Yeah, they seem to be going more into like specials, don't they, in a way? Just like these special box sets rather than calling it a specific volume, which I suppose works better for sales because you don't have people going, oh, I don't have the previous series. I don't want to get this without that, even though it has no relation whatsoever. So that seems to very much be Big Finish's push, and their rebrand at the moment is individual titles for each box set. And even Fourth Doctor has that onto the next bit of news.
What a good
segue.
Yeah, what a good segue that was. Shame I didn't have the page loaded up at all.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's okay. I didn't expect the segue, but
to be fair, I didn't get to it until halfway through my little spiel there. I just thought,
there we go.
Fourth Doctor's flying solo.
The Bachelor's on the loose.
Yeah,
so yeah, we've got details for March 2022.
Yeah, and a individual title, presumably just for the first set. Like, it's not like what they did with was it Series 8, the Syndicate Master Plan? Well, that was Volume 1 and Volume 2. It seems each set is going to have its own individual title, which is an odd choice.
Yeah, because we didn't think that the Fourth Doctor was going to implement any of the new changes just yet, because they record them so in advance. You know, we thought, it would just be Fourth Doctor Series 11, Part A, or whatever they want to call it, Volume 1. But no, like you say, got its own little subtitle. Yeah, we've got one solo Fourth Doctor adventure, The Blood of the Time Lords, which does that have the 8 or the 9 in?
Presumably the 9. Like, certainly the 9's been announced for Series 11. We assumed it would have been Blood of the Time Lords, but no mention of it, so he could be coming in Volume 2.
Unless they're just holding back a little bit of information for, the cover release, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, certainly we know we're getting Nerys Hugh's proper debut as Margaret Hopwood in the second story, which has a bit of a Third Doctor vibe. I don't know if you felt that way too, reading the synopsis.
Yeah, definitely got that.
Yeah, like you got the nuclear power station.
Very Claws of Axos.
You'll love a folklore coming back there.
With a bit of Damon's there, I guess, with the folklore and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm down for this. I'm definitely intrigued by this, and as much as I love Leela, it's nice to have a bit of a break from Louise Jameson and Leela. I think it just brings a new dynamic for the Fourth Doctor, really. I think, and I think that's why I get such a kick out of Series 8, because it's just a complete tonal shift of what had gone before the Fourth Doctor adventures.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see what happens with Series 13, because that should be a definite shift with new companion and Harry back. So
yeah, we know more about that than probably this series.
Yeah, that's true. And presumably that's going to have individual titles as well eventually.
Yeah, so I wonder what the little subtitle that'll be. The Sea Devils are back, and it's a 6-parter. Fingers crossed.
Or will it have like an overall title for the whole thing? Maybe, because looks to be more of a proper arc. I don't know. Yeah.
Just have to see how it ties into Unit Nemesis, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Will the cover drop the Fourth Doctor Adventures bits? I mean, we've sort of got that coming up with the 12th Doctor Chronicles. That little subtitle's no longer on the cover. So do you think it will just say solo on it as the title?
I think so. I think for us sort of traditionalists, we'll put it next to Series 10 because that's where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's still got Series 11 on there, so who knows?
But I think Yeah, because obviously the third Doctor Adventures is technically finishing in October, but obviously it's being rebranded in February. So yeah, it does seem like they are dropping the adventures or whatever.
Yeah. But speaking of the relaunch, we did have one thing that I sort of skipped over in my haste to get to the fourth Doctor with that segue. We have a new companion for the sixth Doctor.
Yes, we do. Another one.
Yeah.
Colin gets all the new companions.
He really does.
Played by Ruth Madeley.
Yeah.
Madley, whatever you pronounce it. I'm very sorry. It's one of those, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought Madley until you said Madeley. So, and I probably could have looked up like a little clip
an
of
interview
someone saying it, but yeah, I did actually have a quick look at a interview just to hear the voice because I haven't watched anything she's been in before. I know she's been in like quite a few high profile things recently, like Years and Years by Russell T Davies, but yeah, certainly just to get a feel for the voice, I guess, before going in. Yeah, another team for Colin as well. He's teaming up with Mel and Hebe, isn't it? That's how that one's pronounced. Yeah, so you excited for this now? Does this make you more excited for Sixth Doctor going forward?
I'll be honest, I thought that this news was part of the Mind of the Hodiak. I didn't realize that this was. Yeah, I thought, because like they've been using the same photo of Colin and Bonnie Langford. I was like, all right, it's Mind of Hodiak. But no, this is the relaunch.
Yeah. Also, like I said, Years and Years by Russell T Davies with her in. It's sort of like that tie-in, isn't it? With that being also written by Russell T Davies.
I mean, I'm glad that we've got Mel.
Yeah,
because we haven't really had Six and Mel since the 2013 trilogy, so it feels great to have Six and Mel back together. But maybe it would have been nice to have maybe one story. I guess we're getting that with Mind of the Hodiak, but I'd like to have had a couple of adventures, just Six and Mel, then have Hebe introduced.
I'm happy to have Hebe introduced almost straight away. Like you say, we do have Mind of the Hodiak to ease us back in with these two. Plus, I think, we've got so much going on with Colin at the moment with older Perry and Six and Constance. Like, those things are still ongoing. I think it's better to get straight into this rather than spending more time on just Six and Mel than we need to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we can start a new chapter, much like this is a new chapter for Big Finish, really. So yeah, it makes sense to have that.
Hopefully brings out some a new side of Mel as well on the Sixth Doctor.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. It'll be interesting to see how Hebe changes Six and Mel's dynamic, really.
Yeah, because it's a dynamic I quite love. And ever since the season 23 box set, I have been going back to Terror of the Vervoids quite a bit. The special edition they did there, that's a lot of fun.
About the trial scenes.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to see how this group works. And I think because Colin said back when they first announced about Flip and Constance being together, he wanted to start having a team. Like, he saw Davison with all these different companions around and thought, I want that. I keep getting them on my own. So,
well, Colin gets practically every new companion.
He does it. He's easier to slot them. Similar with McGann, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get away with it, really.
Yeah, whereas Davison particularly is quite difficult to slot them in.
I mean, McCoy, you've got a bit of wriggle room.
Yeah, like, when was the last time he had a new companion?
Does Mags count? I don't know.
Yeah, kind of, but I mean, we weren't exactly thrilled at that, were we?
No, I mean, I saw potential in the Mag stuff. I was excited for it. Then I listened to it. I was like, yeah, this ain't the one, chef.
No. And like, they've said no plans to go back to that yet, have they?
I wonder why.
Yeah. And yeah, it's left open-ended, isn't it? You've listened to that one, but
yeah, it is left sort of open-ended.
Yeah. And we still got 7 Ace and Mel, like, that's story arc still going on.
And then you've always got Will Arrowsmith and Klein. Are they gonna pop up?
I think that one's probably dead in the mud now. I mean, Klein came back and there was no mention of it.
Yeah.
What was that third installment, Warlock's Cross. That's it.
Yeah, Warlock's Cross for the Daniel. Is it? Yeah, Daniel Hopkins, isn't it? The unit trilogy.
Yeah.
Stuff
Oh, that
focusing
does.
around.
We did have a bit of a tease on the podcast actually about.
What did we?
It was either the podcast or Vortex. Bambera. Because I think someone asked them about that because they've obviously worked with Angela Bruce. They had her in Animal. They said, "Will she be coming back in any form?" So yeah, that's been teased a bit. Nothing concrete, but yeah, I can't remember his exact words, but it was very much one of those Nick Briggs teasers of, "Well, we
Just
might be
imagine."
No, it wasn't quite. It was one of those things where we might already be working on that. So
maybe Unit Nemesis, and maybe I don't know.
Yeah, because that with Harry and Naomi and that seems an ideal place, or maybe more Seventh Doctor, like especially after Grey Man, where that very much went into that battlefield vibe with the original Brigadier. It'd be nice to have one with the new Brigadier and explore that.
I think that's why Animal's my favourite of season 27 audios, because I'm like, that's authentic 80s Doctor Who. Like it feels like a good continuation from Battlefield. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down for more Bambera because I really enjoy Battlefield as a story.
I think she's a great character as well, and definitely one who shouldn't be like shoved to the side as much as she has been.
And it's like Angela Bruce has done a fair bit for Big Finish. She's in the upcoming War Doctor set, and she's in one of the audios we're looking at tonight, Conversion. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot she's one of the pirates, isn't she? Yeah.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
So that was a bit of a segue. Last news story. Here we go.
12 Doctors springs into action with Time Jacked out in November. This has been pushed forward because I think it was being released in February. And what a cover this is. This is incredibly exciting. I know I was going to pick it up already, but having that cover, I'm just so excited for it now because I was a big fan of 12 Doctor Chronicles Volume 1, and I'm definitely excited by the look of this.
It is a very nice cover, I will say that.
Are you tempted to pick it up now you've seen the cover and you've got a bit more details on it?
Probably not still. Like I said, November, it's a busy month, and I don't like Jacob Dudman as the 12th Doctor. He does a good job for what it is, but I'm not sure I could listen to it for a whole 3-hour long story and feel justified in spending the money on it.
I mean, I can't say no to the 12th Doctor. I miss the 12th Doctor.
Yeah, same.
And it's series 10 12th Doctor, so it's like peak Capaldi. So I'm like, I can't say no to that.
It just sort of feels a bit weird having this. It's a full-on recast now at this point, really, isn't it? Since they've dropped the narration, and it does just feel a little bit odd with obviously the actors still around and stuff. But I think I mentioned this to you. I listened to the free preview they gave of the 11th Doctor Chronicles, and while Jacob Dudman does a very good job, it's a very good impression, and I think it works for that narrated format. And 11th Doctor, like even more solidly, that is his best impression. That is the one you instantly think of. But there was just something weird about it. I'm not sure if it's down to him or more just down to me knowing, Matt Smith's still around. Whereas when it comes to something like Jonathan Carley, he just feels in that role so much more. So yeah, it's just a odd one for me.
If anything, it sort of feels a bit more misleading. If you look at the cover, you're like, oh my God, Capaldi, Big Finish. Like, it's one of those moments where you had to sort of do a double take and like, what? And like,
that's the other funny thing, isn't it? Especially now that they've dropped the the Chronicles tagline as well.
It's one of those things like, I'm glad it exists and we're getting 12 Doctor stories, but it's like, can't we wait for actual Capaldi to have these, But it's one of those. It's one of them, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose it's one of those things. Similar with Dodo, although obviously now Jackie Lane has sadly passed on. When that was originally announced, that was after like a long while of trying to convince her to come back and then thinking, okay, we've accepted that she's moved on. Let's get a new actress in. And that sort of feels slightly different. Whereas this, I mean, maybe Capaldi and Matt Smith will never come, but it's almost like too early to say in a way. And I think with Eccleston now, we've been conditioned to believe that every actor will come back.
Yeah, I feel like Capaldi's probably the least likely one actually now, because like he just seems really distant. Like I don't know whether it's because of how he was handled within the show or whatever, because he seems to have a few little sort of grievances, which I'm sure he might have like an Eccleston confession at some point, maybe.
Yeah,
But it's still early days for Capaldi to join Big Finish. It's only been nearly 4 years, so give him a few more years, and hopefully he'll long to be in that silly little show that's Doctor Who. And be like, all right, I'll give your audios a go.
Yeah. Wasn't Tennant quite eager to do it instantly and then had to be told, no, we don't have the license. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you in a couple of years.
Because I remember Nick Briggs saying that Tennant sort of felt expected of it because it was like the Doctor Who graveyard, I think Tennant called it.
Yeah.
Or something like
affectionately.
That. Yeah, affectionately. Like there's nothing wrong with Big Finish, obviously, because we love it. But yeah, Tennant just thought, yeah, that's the natural thing every Doctor does once they leave. They go on to do Big Finish.
Yeah, like I swear he said that like it was when they were recording one of the last stories or something. He said to Nick about, "Oh, I'll be seeing you soon, won't I?" And Nick's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Big Finish."
He already had plans as soon as he's leaving. He's like, "I'm not leaving Doctor Who just yet."
Yeah, although obviously he did blow up quite a bit as an actor as well. Had lots of other roles to keep him busy, but
I think the distance helps as well because it makes it feel more of an event like Eccleston.
Yeah, like I'm not sure I'd want Jodie back straight away. I think that distance does help it feel more like a wow, they're doing Big Finish now.
Yeah, because it's sort of it's wrong to say that if they do Big Finish straight away, it's sort of like, why did you leave the show in the first place if you're going to do Big Finish as soon as you leave?
Yeah,
it's
well,
one of those
again,
weird ones.
Yeah, you've got some characters like River Song. Like I'm pretty sure her first Big Finish was on the same day as her last TV story, wasn't it? Or was it even a year before the first Diary of River Song box set?
No, it came out to celebrate the Husbands of River Song, didn't it?
Yeah, so it was like exactly the same time. Michelle Gomez came quite quickly.
It's a little bit different, I think, with like supporting characters, but I think Doctor-wise, you can have that distance, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny old thing, isn't it? And I mean, hopefully we get Sacha Dhawan's Master pretty quickly in a Big Finish spin-off. I would not be against that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had that already in motion.
Yeah, you never know.
I'm sure
certainly seems it feels like the BBC are very eager to just shove everything off to Big Finish once they're done with it on TV.
Pretty much, it's like, yeah, you can handle it now. It's yours.
Yeah, it's nice to see that level of trust because obviously there was some funny things earlier on, like the Paternoster gang. That license was a bit of a shaky one, wasn't it, for a while?
I think that was more down to Moffat, really. I'm sure Moffat was like, yeah, you can do it. It's just logistics of licensing, really, I think.
Yeah. Benjamin James Miller says, I hope Matt Smith does do Big Finish. Yeah, so do we.
Yeah,
that'd be good to get.
Absolutely.
Sacha and Alex McQueen box set is the Dreammaster box set for me, so that's the stylish one. That'd be an interesting combo. It's a shame we never got him in Masterful just for a cameo.
Yeah, it would have been nice. It would have been really nice to have them all together.
Okay. But yeah, I think that is all the news covered now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that is all the news.
Yeah, Benjamin Jones Miller says, I hope Melanie Bush does go up against the Cybermen. She hasn't done that at all, has she?
No, I don't think
she
so.
She suits them as well with her more tech background.
Yeah, that'd be a very good fit, actually. Very good fit.
Just having a quick look through any other. Benjamin James Miller, I listened to The Daughter of the Gods from the early adventures and I love it. What great Doctor Who had 5-year anniversary. This is something I would hope to do for the revival with 9 and 10. Yeah, that's the other with Eccleston back and going into 2023. Do you think that means he's reasonably secured for their 60th box set?
Well, I know that Tom's recorded his bit of the 60th.
Yeah.
So whether they've had to rework it now because Eccleston's become,
because they would have done that quite a while in advance, wouldn't they?
It's a bit bizarre because like I'm sure Eccleston will say I've recorded a 60th special for Big Finish.
Yeah.
Like
We'll
he'll
have to somehow
happily,
trick him into thinking it's just a regular adventure.
yeah. It's like, oh Chris, yeah, you could be filming in a recording booth day. Can you put this on? It's just like his leather jacket and his costume. We need it for like cover art for Big Finish. Like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, it's gonna be a weird. It'll feel weird if he's not in it though, but still doing Big Finish. I think
It is. Yeah, it's a strange thought, really.
Yeah, I suppose it depends what their plan is for all that. And I think by then it will have worked out because he'll have done 24 adventures at least. He'll have been at the company for 2 years. It wouldn't feel like we're rushing into something that doesn't quite fit his Doctor because obviously he's never had a multi-Doctor story before.
Yeah, I mean,
It'll
could
feel
we
more
get a 10 and 9 interaction? That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I almost worried that they're going to overdo 10 and X Doctor with Out of Time going through 3 of them. And what's Echoes of Extinction in there as well.
Even though that's not really a multi-Doctor story.
No, but yeah.
Yeah,
Who knows? Yeah.
Just have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll get another 10 announcement soon. We'll find out. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, so I think that's all the chat in relation to the news.
I mean, we did have a little bit of news on like that Find the Doctor sort of thing. Just quickly mention this because I wasn't invested in Find the Doctor because A, I'm not clever enough, and B, I don't really have the time to sit there looking at every little thing going, oh, that's different. Let's put in a code. Like, no, I let clever people do it and go, oh, that was quite interesting. But yeah, that was quite underwhelming, wasn't it? That little revelation.
I saw some people getting like quite upset that people had already worked it out 3 clues early. But like, what's the point in spacing out these clues like this? Sure, if it's something that you start like that as this scavenger hunt thing, shouldn't it all be available to everyone right from the start, and then you go from there and find each bit as you go along? Like one clue leads to the next, rather than you get one clue, you solve it, and then wait a week for the next clue.
Or I think a better way to do it is like there's a code after each episode, and you unlock like an exclusive clip or an image, just to build hype for the next episode within the launch. Really, it just seems a bit silly that all you get is like a little video and a new photo of Jodie, and you're like, well, you spent hours of your life going through various articles, highlighting different things, creating like a massive sort of thing on your wall, trying to piece it all together just to get that. I'd feel super peed off.
Yeah, and it's bizarre that that's the only marketing we're supposedly got at the moment. We had one trailer, and it seems to just be this, and it's coming out next month, presumably.
Yeah, because Doctor Who magazine say it's going to be like a Series 13 special, so it is really bizarre that they're holding off. You know, if anything, you'd be like, we need to start promoting this to get it out in the public eye. Like, yeah, us Doctor Who fans are going to watch it regardless because it's our show, but you need to let other people know. You know,
it's an odd one.
That's one thing I want the next showrunner to have, to able to market it and give us information, but not reveal too much. Like Moffat, I love Moffat because he was like, yeah, here's information, but at times you sort of knew what was happening before it aired.
I don't think Moffat was ever too bad, but I do think sometimes it was just a case of, like, I think John Sim is the big one everyone jumps to. But with that one, it was already leaked early on from filming stuff anyway. Like, everyone knew it was happening, so it was just sort of like this accepted thing of, oh, everyone knows already, we might as well give a proper announcement and at least get some general hype from everyone, rather than it just being this odd little secret we're pretending to keep that everyone knows. And that's what's happening at the moment with Weeping Angels and Sontarans. It's like, even Moffat knew about the Weeping Angels. He said about it, and to take back his comments. Like,
it's bizarre.
We know it's happening. Why pretend that we don't, is the thing.
It's not that we're ungrateful, you know. I think it's when we got to like the San Diego Comic-Con thing, like, can we have a little bit more, please? Like an image of, you know, a Sontaran would be great. Yeah. Like, I think that would have made me more excited than the teaser trailer.
Yeah, you're like teasing us with stuff we already know we're getting.
Like, it's not
Like,
spoiling it, is it at all? Because we're like, yeah, we know
no.
it's happening.
Yeah, we don't know the plot details just because we know a Sontaran and a Weeping Angel are going to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Really
It's
bizarre.
a weird one, this series. I like that Final Doctor thing. That would be fine as a little bit of extra for the fans if you have a proper marketing campaign going on around it.
But yeah, they just dropped it when they did like the San Diego Comic Con stuff. Like, there you go, and I don't really see anything else from it, really.
I'll
It's
tell
really
you what
bizarre.
else I find a bit odd, actually. And I mean, this is sort of similar to Big Finish at the moment with their overall box set titles and how everything's getting that. If Series 13 is going to be one long story, a six-parter, why not advertise it with a story title? Like, instead of calling it just Doctor Who Series 13, do similar to what Key to Time and Trial did.
Mm.
And I mean, maybe they're going to do that anyway, but that would be something good to announce early on when you say, oh, it's going to be one long story. We're calling it da-da-da. Just that alone is pretty decent marketing.
Or like Chibnall described it as Swarm. Why don't you call it Doctor Who Swarm? I don't know.
Yeah, just something like that.
Like,
Could be
that
good.
would build your hype up. Going, what's this Swarm about? You know, it's this one. Yeah, I saw like that instantly hooks you. And going, oh yeah, it's just Series 13. Like, it just has more of a punch, doesn't it, by giving it its own little title, and it gives it that identity and what it needs against all the other stuff.
Yeah, Stylish One says, here's hoping the next showrunner brings back the minisodes. We got them for every episode of Series 2. We got several for Series 6. Yeah, it is, because I don't think we had any since Series 9, did we? Oh, that little Bill tease, but...
We might have had a few for... We had like those series... They were more promotions, weren't they? Series 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, like you wonder how much that is down to the showrunner and how much that just down to just the BBC as a whole, though. Like things like that, you can be too sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to put blame on Chibnall because obviously he's the face of the show at the minute, really, isn't he? He's the one pulling the string. So I guess it's easy to point fingers at Chibnall when we don't know if it is Chibnall.
Because I think things like episode counts being dropped to 10 episodes, that's not necessarily Chibnall.
And especially now with the COVID filming restrictions, it makes sense. At least we're getting a series.
Yeah, and I like their decision to do a one long story arc. Even without the COVID restrictions, I think that's something they should have done anyway. So I'm glad they are, but it's just going to be down to execution whether we end up liking that or not. Is the main thing.
It's almost like Series 11 because you get Woman Who Fell to Earth and Ghost Monument. How closely they sort of flow into one each another because you've got that cliffhanger, you've got the follow-on from the Stens. You're like, okay, this is really great sort of Netflix serialized drama,
and then just dropped.
It's dropped. Like, I love Rosa, but it's a bizarre one. Really is bizarre because you think there are elements where you're like, this is really good. I like what you're doing, and then it just cocks it up in a matter of seconds.
Oh, yeah,
it is bizarre.
Benjamin James Miller says, I hope the Fourth Doctor goes up against the Ice Warriors. They are actually in Series 12. Just wanted to let you know that. Hey.
Ice Heist, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the first one as well. So March 2023. Got a while away, but there you go. Bloody hell. Yeah. By the time that comes out, we'll have had all the Ecclestons that are announced.
Plummet. Oh, gosh. Can't wait to do an Eccleston tier list.
Poor John Bishop getting told off for telling everyone he was a plasterer, so Stylish One.
I know.
That was a bizarre. Funny little interview.
And then getting told off that he's from Liverpool. I'm like, what do you expect? It's John Bishop.
Yeah. The opening shot of that little teaser at the end of Revolution of the Daleks was Liverpool. It's weird. It's a weird time.
It is bizarre. Speaking of weird times, should we talk about Marc?
Yeah. Stylish One has asked favourite cover from the Marc stories. So should we say that while you're loading up the tier list?
Yes, yeah.
Because we got there's 6 to choose from.
Well, technically 1 because there's only one proper cover, like you say, with Tartarus.
Oh yeah, one individual. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say probably Warzone / Conversion for me. I think that's a very nice cover.
Yeah,
If
I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah, Time Apart's another good one, but we're including it here because it is very much set in that story, but it doesn't quite feature Mark. And I mean, we'll get on to that. It is quite a bit separate, but
yeah.
So here we go. Tier list. Do you want me to do my little
Yes,
usual?
please do.
Yeah, I'm going to start from the bottom this time because I feel like it makes more sense. Yeah. So first up, we have.
I play my thing? Hang on. I've got to find the thing now.
Sorry, I've sort of caught you off guard there.
It's okay. It's okay. Give me a second. Right.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Here we go.
Oh, that's terrible.
There we are. Yeah, that is our bottom tier for today, as you saw there, based on the season 24 Behind the Sofa. Yeah, so that's terrible. Braveheart Tegan means you got to be a bit brave to get through this story, but it's not the worst there is.
It's heart's in the right place, but it's just the execution isn't there for it.
Yeah, In Need of a Zero Room means that there's some good things going on in this story, but it needs a little bit extra. Needs a bit of extra oomph, something to sort of, a couple more drafts to really get it to where it should have been. To some people, small, beautiful audios are what life is all about. These are the ones that they're not the best. They're not like mind blowing, but you can sit there, you can listen, you can have a good time, and it's just like little wholesome stuff you can listen to. Obviously, excellent. Again, we sort of used this one before, the cyber tier list, but we're not against using things twice. So excellent there. And a little pun for the top tier. It's full marks, spelt with a C for Mark. So that is the best of the best.
Before we dive into the tier list,
go for it.
Do you want to give your little thoughts on the Mark stuff as a whole?
Yeah, we could do that first. I wasn't sure if we wanted to do that before or after, but yeah, before probably works better.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to sort of segue. For me, the Mark stuff is sort of a missing era of the Fifth Doctor. It sort of feels like what the television series could never do, because the Mark stuff for me feels incredibly modern, with like the new series sensibilities of character and themes and thematics, character drama. But it has that sort of classic feel to it with just that fun adventure of 80s Doctor Who, really. And I think that the whole Mark stuff for me just shows why Davison is the best current, Big Finish Doctor. These adventures just show that Big Finish can do wonderful things, taking something from the classic series, what wasn't really developed, and making a whole sort of series out of it. And it makes for a beautiful listen, really.
Yeah. Like there's not a story arc as such, like in the new series sense. There's not like an overarching villain or anything or teasers for things. But one story very much feeds into the next. Emotions are carried through. There are consequences to characters' actions in the next story. It's not like these things are moved on from. And that's where all that really comes from. It's this emotional pull through line going all the way through. And it starts really with Earthshock. Like a lot of this is all about the Doctor's guilt and grief of Adric throughout that, even though it's been a little while for him and Nyssa in their travels, and Tegan as well, because she had a year off in between. Like presumably this is set just after Snake Dance.
Yeah, I would say so,
yeah. And then we get this new male companion to funnel all that through with Mark, and eventually run into the ghost of Adric in Lost Resort. It's all very well planned and all very nice how this works. And there's some great stuff throughout with the Fifth Doctor's character, really building him up. And
if anything, I would say that if you're not a fan of Davison's Doctor, this series just shows how bloody good his Doctor is. Like Davison gives some of his best performances he has ever given. Like I would say it's up there with Caves Androzani type Davison performance. He's just Lost Resort, Warzone Conversion. You're gonna get some brilliant Davison Fifth Doctor moments, and arguably just best Fifth Doctor moments, really, for me.
Yeah, like I believe Stylish One asked whether or not he could get the Lost Resort Lulla story set on its own. You could. Like story-wise, there's nothing stopping you. But I think if you really want that emotional build-up to what goes on in Lost Resort and all throughout this, it is worth like getting all this and listening to it all in a row. You could probably skip out on Time Apart, but that's, while it's set there continuity wise, it is kind of its own thing. So you could just go for the 2 trilogies, as it were. But yeah, I think you get much more out of that last box set if you have listened to the build up of that, what's going on with these characters throughout the rest of the arc there.
Yeah, because like Lost Resort starts off, where Madquake finishes with that whole tension of the Doctor reuniting with his companions, and them just not being able to talk about events. So I think for me, I wouldn't recommend Lost Resort and other stories. I think you definitely need the whole series to fully enjoy the ride, what these characters go on. I think just contextualizes way more for you.
Yeah,
personally.
it definitely does. So yeah, where it all began 2 years ago now. I'm pretty sure, did we both dive into this on the day of release?
Because it came out with Harry Houdini's War, and obviously we're more of a Davison fan than Colin, so we went for Tartarus.
Yeah, I cannot remember whether I did that or not, but I feel like I might have done this time. But yeah, anyway, it was 2 years ago today, Tartarus, this opener. Also, one last note on this overall. It is very much a season of Eccleston, isn't it? Eccleston? What am I about? Davison.
Yeah.
So I'm drifting a bit there. Because it is 26 episodes, all these together, or 22 if you take out Time Apart. Yeah. So it is like the usual length of a Davison season. And Tartarus is a double up one.
2 45-minute episodes, isn't it?
Yeah. And that was a nice little start, wasn't it? With Tartarus calling back to Resurrection with that 2 45-minute ones, and it suits this story really well. I cannot imagine this one as a 4-parter.
You can imagine it as a 4-parter. Like part 1, you can see that it would end where all their strange lights in the sky.
Yeah, I can see it, but I think
you can see where it would be cut. Personally,
the pacing works so much better. It's quick action adventure in this bizarre fantasy world. It gives it this more of a special feeling, like it is the start of a new era, with it being this longer 2-parter.
I think as well, Scott Hancock directing it all, it has like a real great tonal consistency. Like I feel like Scott Hancock really brings like a sharpness to each story and like a fresh pair of eyes, and it just feels incredibly more dynamic and pacey for me personally.
Yeah, Scott Hancock easily does some of the best stuff for Big Finish. Like Warmaster, some of the Torchwood stuff that we do listen to. It's a shame to see him move on from the 5th Doctor, but looking forward to what they do next. But
Tartarus, I think that it has that Hartnell feel to it, or maybe because we're in like historical with Rome, and we've get the 5th Doctor. We sort of get the build-up of the 5th Doctor just wanting to move away from things and have a little bit of fun and meet Cicero, because he's very much a fan of Cicero. We have the 5th Doctor being, being a fanboy, and you just get Nyssa and Tegan sort of. I think Tegan's very much like, why is he not talking about Adric and all that sort of stuff? And this, like, just let him have his moment, let him have a bit of fun.
Yeah, that's quite heartwarming when you think about it, isn't it? Like the Doctor just wanting to enjoy history, really, and get to meet his one of his heroes. And Cicero, we haven't listened to the series of that.
No.
Yeah, but he's a great little character in here. Samuel Barnett never
Wonderful
disappoints as an actor. So yeah, it's very much those 5 of them: Mark, Cicero, 5th Doctor, Tegan, and Nyssa, just going on an adventure. Really,
it's very much like a Hartnell quest, isn't it? It has that sort of Keys of Marinus feel where you get them going to different locations to get like a key. Like
you have like there's perils along the way.
We actually go to Tartarus, which is like this hell, and you get sort of the 5th Doctor sort of a little Cyberman voice in there, which is a great little foreshadowing to Warzone and Conversion. So there are little bits of nuggets of payoff where if you listen to all in one go, you get that, that's a great little nod to upcoming things or whatever, really. Because it really sort of shows Mark at his best, really, because you get him able to get the keys because he's pure of heart or whatever, because he hasn't been guilt or blood on his hands.
Whereas, it is sort of like a show off of why Mark is a great companion, why he should join them.
You get that at the end.
So I'd say it's fantastic. How about you?
Excellent or full marks?
Oh, excellent. Sorry, I'm still in Ninth Doctor mode for some
Good
reason. I've
grace.
called it Eccleston. I've said fantastic. Yeah, it's excellent. Excellent. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm going
for me, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. I really like it. It's a fun romp, and you can't go wrong with it. I think that it's just a real solid introduction for a companion and a new era for the Fifth Doctor.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air.
Really is.
No. Not that the Fifth Doctor particularly needed that. Like, we were fans of him in the main range anyway before this, like with the Chameleon trilogy and the other trilogies before that. It was just a nice, again, it was like it wasn't waiting until things went stale to shift it up. It was shifting it up to keep things fresh as it goes. So you never get that dip.
No, you definitely don't. Not with the Mark stuff at all, really.
Yeah, well,
speaking of,
we say that, but there is a little dip with interstitial.
Yeah, interstitial. I think it gets stuck with the techno babble. It really gets sort of with the whole idea of harnessing the vortex for like interstitial time.
Yeah.
See, this is a thing I'm kind of scared of talking about because I'm like, is that the blazing hour? Because the blazing hour does something similar with the vortex as well, or whatever space time.
Yeah, but it's certainly the better of the two.
It's the better of the two, because you get this whole sort of evolution sort of thing. There are some nice moments within it, like Mark being in space and learning about automatic doors. That's a lovely moment, and the Fifth Doctor not appreciating the smaller things, what Mark is. So I think that allows for some great little character moments.
I think you do get like a line in there where he's saying, "I get to experience all this again for the first time with you," kind of similar to what we have in the Rings Back at 10 with 11 and Clara. I'm pretty sure there was a line similar to that in here.
Yeah,
with,
that does ring a bell.
And Mark. And like the way it divides him up also, like Mark for a lot of Tartarus spends time with Nyssa and Tegan. And so it's nice that in this story he gets some time alone with the Doctor while Nyssa and Tegan get some time separate. I like how that's organized within this arc, this ongoing story for these characters. So there's still some good stuff about this story. I think it's more part 2 where it dipped for me. It just does get a bit lost in itself. So I care about the characters, but I don't care about the story going on around them, I guess. So
it seems like a poor man's Aquitaine in a way.
Oh yeah, that's another. Yeah, that's a good comparison as well. Both Aquitaine and Blazing Hour, brilliant stories, but this one just doesn't quite live up to either.
I'm torn between Braveheart or it needs a zero room. In need of a zero room.
I'm feeling harsh and going Braveheart.
Okay, I'll agree.
Just because I know not much else is going to go down there.
I mean, for me, I think it's 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it's not. And again, like we're going to praise Feast of Fear in a minute, so it's not like if you buy this double bill, you're going to be missing out on too much. Like it is still worthwhile getting this all just to listen to it all in one go. It's a 2-parter. It might not be that great, but it's nothing that drags down anything too much. What it does with the characters going on is fine. It's just the story itself that they're in is a bit of a muddy area. So yeah, I'd say Braveheart suits it because, like you say, there are other stories that do it so much better as well. So it sort of goes to show that this can be done well. It just really isn't here.
But like you say, Feast of Fear is the solid release because you get sort of the Irish famine, which again, I like that sort of Doctor Who taking bits of history and going, this is our spin on it. You get Nyssa being possessed. Great story for Sarah Sutton. This really lets Sarah Sutton shine, being the villain. Because she's possessed, and you get Davison basically locked up, in a cage, babbling all manner of stuff. I
like that this story starts halfway through the adventure, as it like the Doctor and co have already arrived quite a little while before, like not too, I think probably a couple of days, and so you're sort of thrown into the mystery there of why are the Fifth Doctor and Nyssa like this, what's going on here, and it's quite a good it came out in October. That was certainly the
Yes.
perfect time for it, like build up to Halloween. This was great stuff for that. Like very spooky adventure. Yeah.
It allows for some good moments with Tegan and Mark because they're very much on the trail for the Doctor and Nyssa.
Yeah, the carnival. Yeah.
And it plays with the desperation of the Irish people wanting to join the carnival because of the famine, and they're like, well, at least that's one way to sort of escape the hell of it all, really.
Yeah, but ending up walking into a worse hell.
Yeah, because there are some great horrific moments, especially when sort of the actual carnival's going on, or circus.
Yeah,
And
there's
the
some
actual
creepy
tent,
sound effects.
with like the audiences becoming husks and everything, like they're just becoming drained of their energy. It's great sort of stuff. And then you have the space wife, the sort of main antagonist of the piece, really.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting creation with sort of squid-like thing attached to people.
Yeah, it's very creepy imagery. I think one of the great bits as well is when Nyssa and Tegan and Mark rock up in that town where the carnival has just been through, and there's just like that pile of husks lying in the middle of town. Like that's quite a creepy image. Yeah. Great stuff, this story. Where are you leaning towards putting it?
I'm thinking, to some people, small beautiful audios are what life is all about.
Oh, I was thinking either full marks or excellent. But
I'll let you have excellent.
it's
I'll go
not,
to excellent.
we're not quite full marks yet, but yeah.
For me, Warzone is full marks. That's a little spoiler.
Yeah,
but
here we go.
For me, Warzone is just it's a story what is visual, and it should not work on audio, but it really does, because it's all about this race and everyone wanting to beat their personal best, and it's about a society who don't know what the Cybermen are, but they're constantly wanting to upgrade to become, to beat their personal best. And I think that this allows for some great sort of horror for Davison to have that sudden realization of, oh God, is it the Cybermen? I just love it. I really like the sort of danger of Warzone. For it's this sort of obstacle course. It's like I don't know what's that show sort of. It's not Total Wipeout, but like Gladiator. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it's similar to Tough Mudder. I think is the main inspiration. That's an obstacle course people do actually go on. I mean, there's lots of them about, loads of different variations of it. It's like that endurance thing, isn't it, for people to reach their personal best, but taken to the extreme, put in a sci-fi setting. So like you got this moving arena, haven't you, for it, where it rearranges itself based on your own needs. And I think it's very good at constantly building the tension. Like it introduces one problem, like them not having the talismans, and how the danger there is actually real, and then it just keeps building. Things keep getting worse. So yeah, it's an action-packed, high-octane ride, really. I'll let you go full marks. I was leaning towards excellent, but
really,
you've gone full marks, so I'll let you have full marks.
I just think for me, it's Chris Chapman. He never does a bad story.
He's brilliant.
It's got one of Davison's best performances out there.
Oh yeah,
when he just goes absolutely mad, and it's just that chilling moment of a Cybermen behind it. You've got the great sort of pairing of Nyssa and of that sort of person dressed as like a dragon in like fancy dress going around the course. It's just a wonderful balance of humor and just sheer urgency because of what happened within this story.
Yeah, that's true. It's a lot of great stuff, leading us directly into Conversion, which is, I'd say, another really good story. Again, some great performances from Davison. It sort of divides the characters up again, like it's mostly a Fifth Doctor and Tegan story, while Nyssa and Mark have their own little subplot. And yeah, it's hard to talk too much about this one because there's a lot of spoilers that go on. It's hard to know how many spoilers we can really say because I don't know how many Big Finish have revealed since.
Yeah, because though it's like 2 years old.
Yeah,
and,
like a lot.
It's only just finished, and you want to have that bit of time for people to actually experience it, and you want to give people a chance to go out and experience it, but Yeah,
Yeah.
but this is the story where Tegan confronts the Doctor about, did you actually like Adric? So
Oh, that's a brilliant scene.
we're continuing that sort of theme, and to have the Fifth Doctor encounter the Cybermen again, it plays with that horror of, the last time he lost a friend to them, and the Cyber Leader recognizes the Fifth Doctor because he's been re-downloaded. Is it?
Yeah, I think that's one part that does kind of work. I'm a bit iffy on the idea, but the execution of it, I can forgive it because it suits it very well.
And like we said earlier, got Angela Bruce there playing sort of the space pirate scavenger characters on sort of a tomb world of a Cyberman, which creates always great visuals of having Cybermen sort of burst out of like the catacombs. Just
I love
tremendous.
I love the idea of just this world that's completely stopped just because, what need do Cybermen have for most things? Like they don't need to go around walking to shops and stuff. They don't need to sleep. So they just switch off for a while until they're needed to go convert out more people. And it's like this horrifying image of what the entire galaxy could be like if the Cybermen had their way. Like they'd convert everyone, then just power down mode and survive. But at what cost?
Yeah, so where shall we put it?
Yeah. Oh. It's definitely an either excellent or full marks. Up to you.
I'm thinking. See, I don't rate it as highly as Warzone.
Yeah, I'd say it's slightly less than Warzone, but I'm not.
I still enjoy it because I think, I've got to put it there.
Put them together; they belong.
Got to put them together. Yeah, it seems only fair, and I think that it's just a great 2 hours of audio, really.
Yeah, I also love the Cybermen in it. Like, I think it's the perfect mix of 80s, but with a bit more of a 60s sensibility. Like, you even have the line, "You will become like us." I think they're sort of toned down a bit from the over-the-top emotional performances in the 80s, and do have a bit more of that coldness to them, while still being the same recognizable voices that we know and love.
It's what Attack of the Cybermen tried to do, but this executes it better about being full continuity, really.
Yeah, that's very true. And now on to Time Apart.
Yes, after conversion, we have a little bit of a cliffhanger where we see. Is that a spoiler sort of saying?
I think we can say it because it's very much been revealed with the synopsises for Fin Time and Mad Quake and such, and Time Apart as well. I mean, even the title Time Apart, it's about the Fifth Doctor having time apart for his companions. He's left them behind somewhere, and so they're left in a bit of a turmoil. Like the events of conversion have very much taken their toll, and so he just needs some time alone to think. And exploring Earth's history was the theme of this anthology. And so we start off in I'm pretty sure it's the 80s, isn't it? With the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
And that's one of those weird things, isn't it? When you think, oh, the Berlin Wall, that's not ancient history, but it's like it's part of history. And then you realize all of Classic Who. Is it all of Classic Who, or was it during the Seventh Doctor's era where the Berlin Wall came down?
I want to say it's like early 90s it came down.
Yeah, so the whole of Classic Who, the Berlin Wall was up, which is just a bizarre thought. But yeah, so Ghost Station takes place in a station that's sort of like it's the east side, isn't it?
Yeah.
But trains still come through from the west, like, because obviously when they built the underground, they didn't quite build it with the intention of there's going to be this wall up top one day that will separate half the city. But so
and you have a guard basically making sure that people aren't switching places or sides.
Sneaking through. And it's a two-hander, isn't it, really? Just the Doctor and this guard. Its strength is very much in the first half of it, I will say, where it is more just them having a chat. You sort of get a bit more of a technobabbly conclusion to it. So for me, it's one of the middle two. It's either in need of a zero room, or to some people, small beautiful audio is what life is all about. So I think half hour, it's not too offensive. It doesn't take up too much time. It is a pleasant listen. I would gladly go back to this one again.
I think
So
for me,
yeah.
it's the best of Time Apart for me personally.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So I think for that reason, it has to go in there.
Yeah, there we go.
Personally, the Bridgemaster.
One last thing about
Oh, go
Ghost
on.
Station. It is the only one that really references the Fifth Doctor being separate from his companions. And it's only a brief little half-reference line. So it doesn't tie into it too much. So if you are wanting to go for the Marc stories, while this does fill in that gap between the two trilogies, you can skip out on it if you want to save a bit of money. I don't think it's probably our least favorite release of the 6 as well. And so I'd say if you want a little bit more from it, go for it. If you're not that fussed, you're not missing out on anything by not getting this one.
It doesn't have Marc in it, so you're fine.
Yeah, like what was that? Stylish One says, I have heard Ghost Station because it was free. Yeah, you can actually listen to this one for free still because it was like the preview, so you get the whole story. And honestly, didn't enjoy it. It had a great twist, but nothing else beyond that. Just Doctor and Peter wandering about. One of my least favorite Fifth Doctor audio stake.
Blimey.
So
maybe stay away from Time Apart then, if that's our favorite. Then maybe Time Apart's not the one for you.
Yeah, Stylish One. I think you mentioned wanting to get these. You could definitely skip out on Time Apart.
Yeah,
but
definitely skip that one.
Yeah, so now Bridgemaster.
This, all I can really remember of this story is that there's this strange little device on the bridge, and if you're caught crossing this bridge, you'll die. And I remember there being a jump scare within it, and I was like, that made me go, what the hell was that?
That was like a bloody, what was that? So it's not an overly creepy story, is it? So it really catches you extra off guard.
Like, I love the setting of the story. That's one positive for it. But
I like it. I'd want to go the Small Beautiful audios for me.
I'm in agreement because I think it's fairly solid.
Yeah, it's just it's a pleasant little listen. Nothing amazing. Some nice little character work in there, but yeah, I think it is what it is. Yeah. I think with these anthologies, you are sometimes limited by that half-hour format.
Definitely.
I know.
What lurks down under?
Yeah, this is one you haven't really listened to, is it?
No, because Time Apart just didn't seem to click with me at all, really.
No. I want to go again. Small Beautiful audio for this.
All right, okay.
So it is written by Tommy Dunbavand, who sadly passed away before this release came out. It is dedicated to his memory, and it's just a nice little story set on the open seas. As they are transporting some prisoners to Australia, because that started off as like a prison colony and such. And I think Mary Wade is sort of like the youngest person to be transported across. And so she has quite a nice little pairing with the Fifth Doctor. He recognizes her as like this historical figure. And yeah, there's some interesting fish people in it eventually. But I think it's a good little mystery, good little way to spend half an hour again. Nothing too overly long or offensive, but nothing groundbreaking either. Yeah. Now we can be mean.
Oh, the Dancing Plague is the shortest of the bunch. I think it's 21 minutes. But yes,
it drags.
It feels way longer.
This was one of those ones I kept checking the time, wondering when is it going to end? Why does it feel this long?
And this is so bizarre because when I read the synopsis for Time Apart, I was like, all right, this one sounds really interesting because it's about the Dancing Plague when people would just dance and die, basically.
Like an actual historical event.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is great. This sounds like my cup of tea. I started listening to it, like, yeah, this isn't that great, to be honest. Because you get the Doctor looking for, is it some sort of what is his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Is
Erasmus, isn't it? Yeah.
So you've got that, and it just, for me, it feels very out of character for the Fifth Doctor, the way he's acting within it.
Really?
Yeah,
I can sort of see. I like the female empowerment of Rasmus's assistant. Like that's
Oh,
one thing I
yeah.
can praise the story. Like she's a decent character, but that's about the only redeeming thing I can say about it. You know what to do.
I'll get it up.
Oh, yeah. You got to load it, haven't you?
Got to load it. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Right. Are we ready?
Here we go.
Hang on. I'll put it in the tier list first, actually.
Oh,
there we go. And then we can.
Oh, that's terrible.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, all that build up.
Yeah. Will we be using it again? Time will tell. In Fin time. Yeah, this was released. I feel like this story again should have been released in October because it was set in All Hallows Eve. And this is somewhat, I wouldn't say it's Fifth Doctor's Charms of Midnight, but it has aspects very similar to the Charms of Midnight in a way.
This is Fifth Doctor solo again, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
This is like the story where he decides to go back for his companions at the end. But
yeah, I do like the setting of the story. I love the Victorian setting.
Yeah. There's some great mystery throughout it as well. Some wonderful characters in this.
Great twist with a character as well.
House. Yeah, that's very true.
That revelation within it.
And a surprising cameo.
Yes.
More on that.
For the last 6 minutes, is it? 5-6 minutes of a story. What sort of inspires the Fifth Doctor to go, you know what? I need my friends. I'm going to go and get them. So it's lovely. And that's all you can really say, because it's one of those ones what Big Finish didn't promote, and I don't really think has been spoiled. So
no, we don't want to change that.
No, we don't want to change that.
If you want to find out what we're talking about, go buy it, or if you really want to spoil it, look it up on TARDIS Wiki. But
has all the answers for you, TARDIS Wiki.
Yeah, it's nice to experience though on its own, and but I'd say, this is either small, beautiful, or excellent for me. I get a very good kick out of this story. It's a great one.
I'll go with excellent because I like the setting of it. I like the creepy, sinister build-up of it with that sort of entity in the house. Is it?
Yeah, like the windows slowly blacking out and things. That's all great stuff. It's a horror story that works well in a two-part format as well.
And it's all sort of leading down to midnight, and it plays with that Halloween theme very well. And I definitely want to revisit it very soon, actually.
Yeah, that's true. I think it'd be interesting to like go through all this in order now that it's out, see how it all plays as one long season.
Yeah, that'd be good because I don't think I've actually done that really. I re-listened to Tartarus and all that sort of first batch ready for Fin time and time apart. But yeah, now we've got the whole thing. It'd be great to sort of have it as one big lump, really.
Yeah, that's true. Aidan Woodhead says Time Apart was the first Big Finish audio I listened to, so I have a soft spot for it. Sorry, we have just insulted a fair amount of it. I feel like we were fairly reasonable to 3 out of 4 stories.
I still think it's high up. It's third tier, so it's not bad. I mean, Dancing Plague is bad, but yeah.
It's just not. It just wasn't our cup of tea, but luckily the rest of these stories are. And Mad Quake is up next. Another this one is sort of like the opposite side of the coin, isn't it? We've had a Doctor solo story, and now we get just a companion story, Doctor Light story. That's what I'm going for here.
Yeah, that's the word you were looking for.
Yeah, it's sort of like the mirror of Midnight and Turn Left, isn't it?
Yeah, very much is that. And again, continuing the new series theme, you've got Slevine.
Yeah,
which is a nice little surprise because it's not in a special box set. It's just here it is in a monthly range adventure, and quite a bold move of Big Finish to put it in sort of a character-focused story because it's very much dealing with the aftermath of conversion, especially for Mark.
Yeah, but they suit it so well. Like very much a theme throughout the story is like what you hide on the inside and what you show on the outside, which obviously perfectly suits this Slevine as a threat. And even then, the first part of this story is very character focused. Like there's
Mm.
not too much plot. It really is about how they're dealing with the aftermath of conversion and being left behind by the Doctor. And I think that plays to this story's strengths very strongly. I almost enjoy the first half more than the second. The second
Yeah.
becomes a bit of a runaround. Still great, but yeah, I think it does suffer a bit there.
Yeah, I think that's why I enjoy Mad Crate, because it is that character moment. Even though nothing's happening, I just like that payoff. And it just makes it feel like that one big universe thing with those characters.
Yeah, you need that slow down to catch your breath, don't you? And this story very much gives that.
For me, I want to say excellent or...
Yeah, I'll go excellent. For me, it was either that or Small Beautiful Audio.
Yeah, I was torn between there, but I thought since Finn time was there, I want to put it
Yeah,
together.
we're keeping them, other than Interstitial and Feast of Fear, we've been keeping them mostly together, haven't we?
Pretty much. Yeah. And it's just nice of the covers all as one.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we have the most recent release, the 3 stories to close the Marc series, or Marc arc, whatever you want to call it. Lost Resort. What did you make of this one?
Yeah, so brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh,
this
gosh.
might be my favorite of the entire arc. Actually, it's a bit of spoiler for where. At least I want to put it. I don't. You might have hated it and want to put it low down, but
yeah, because we haven't talked about this, and we haven't said, "Oh, what do you make of this?"
Yeah, like the last time we had a little call was Tuesday. Last Tuesday, we recorded something which you guys will be getting soon enough. But yeah, this didn't come out until, was it Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday, I think, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about a brief little chat before we started, but certainly we haven't gone in depth about this. So yeah, Lost Resort, my favorite AK Benedict script, I'd say.
Yeah, I was thinking
what she's written and
what she'd done. I was like, the only thing what springs to mind is Hunting Ground, and I loved Hunting Ground, but I think this is definitely one of the best, if not best, like you say.
Yeah, like the stuff it does with Adric and how he's implemented the story is wonderful. It's very heartfelt, very emotional. It really does. It really hit me quite hard towards the ends. It works as a 4-parter. Like with this Marc stuff, they are going for like 2-parter, very snappy, very much quick, but not rush stories. This one, it needed that time to breathe, and it works very well. I've compared it to the 5th Doctor box set because it has the character elements of Psychodrome. It's got and some interesting twists and sci-fi concepts from that, but it's also got like that creepy haunted setting from Iterations of I. So if you like that set, Lost Resort is a very good story for you there. This very much does play to both those story strengths. And soundtrack wise as well, it's a very 80s soundtrack. So it does suit that box set again as well. It feels very much like a companion piece to that. And we love that box set. We did a stream about that box set a couple of months back. So yeah, I love this story. It's got so many great characters in it. Fad, what an amazing little character he is.
I was just going to say, it reminds me of Aquitaine, like with Hargreaves. And for me, it was a story what not much really is happening, but a lot is happening at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like Aquitaine, like I didn't want this story to end.
Yeah, I can feel
I was just having such a good time with it. For me, it's just really difficult to talk about because I'm like, there are so many twists and turns within it. What are so great, and the revelations. There are some wonderful little character moments between the 5th Doctor, Tegan, and what's the robot girl called again?
Fad, Robot Boy.
Robot Boy. Where you've got sort of
played by a girl, to be fair. So that's probably but yeah, it is meant to be a boy.
When you've got sort of the 5th Doctor jump scaring Tegan, lovely little moment within the story, and it's just brilliant characters, like you say, and the world building is so rich, and Nyssa and Marc get some great moments. It's just a great sort of. I think each part has a moment for each character to explore. Because this is sort of building up. Let's talk about Adric. We need, because the Doctor wants to go to Gallifrey and just let's have a talk and sit down and let's settle everything. Let's put everything to bed. And I think that this story does put everything to bed, and it sort of wraps
like the
up
main concept of this story as well explores like that idea of grief very well. It's very much part of this, and the idea of not letting go.
Because it does sort of wrap up the arc, but then it has payoff in Nightmare of the Daleks as well.
Yeah, it's like an epilogue, isn't it?
Yeah.
After this is very much the culmination of everything we're building towards.
And again, I'm going to praise Davison. He's absolutely superb within it.
He is brilliant.
And I want to say that this is Matthew Wardhouse's best Big Finish performance. Like,
I think it must be up there, certainly.
For me, Matthew Wardhouse is really trying to play the teenage boy. And obviously, he's not a teenage boy anymore. Whereas I felt like there was less of that try-hardiness within this story. So I was like, all right, he's really got it now. I was like, this is good Azric.
Yeah, Aidan Woodhead says Lost Resort was excellent. Had a massive lump in my throat at times during it. Yes, definitely agree there. It very much felt that way. And yeah, one thing I would say maybe is a negative. Mark feels a bit underserved at times, and I think that's a thing with this entire Mark series. Funnily enough, he's there. He has some good character moments throughout, but a lot of the time he's more serving the Doctor, Nyssa and Tegan's development, and more of the catalyst for that. And that's brilliant. That is nice how that works. But sometimes you do wish you had a little bit more. It's not going to stop me from saying this is full marks, though.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. It's just a wonderfully rich story, and it's just definitely worth your time. Definitely worth your time. And if you followed this arc from Tartarus, you have such a wonderful time, and just a great payoff. So I'm in agreement. It is Lost Resort.
It really is. One of those. I can't wait to re-listen to it at some point. I think definitely. Especially knowing like the twists and where it goes, that should be interesting as well. See how that plays out. And now we go from that to something a little bit different now. It's all like this bit of light relief after some heavy stories. The Perils of Nellie Bly. Pure historical, very Black Orchids.
Yes.
We said before. It's got that feel. You've got some just fun adventures, globe-trotting. Yeah, wonderful stuff, really. And it's not palate cleanser in that sense, because usually you use palate cleanser to say, oh, we've had stuff before, but it's a nice little bit of fun with this crew before they say goodbye in the next story.
I think the character of Nellie Bly was nice to have a focus on that historical character. Being inspired by Phileas Fogg Around the World in 80 Days. And it's just a wonderful, it went really quick for me, even though it's a two-parter, so it should go pretty quick. It just flew by, and I just had a lot of fun listening to it. For me, it felt very much back to basics for the Fifth Doctor and Mark adventures. It felt like it belonged in sort of Tartarus Interstitial Feast of Fear sort of time frame. Really, for me, it just felt okay. This is like a sort of a quintessential Mark story for me, and I think that it uses Mark well, especially towards the end of the story with sort of the train sort of stuff. It sort of utilizes Mark.
Okay, you get the Fifth Doctor's excitement over trains, don't you?
Yeah,
and that's a wonderful line from Tegan where it's like, it's not as exciting as it sounds, Mark.
It's
brilliant dialogue throughout.
Yeah, you've got some great sort of quips by Davison, because Davison, you don't think's a funny Doctor, but he's quite sarky. He's got that sardonic wit, and I think this story really allows that. And just, I love that bit where he's just sort of placing a bet, going, "This is where Nellie's got to, arrive," and he's like, got some money now, and he's gonna use it for, a charity or whatever it was. So yeah, it was lovely, a lovely little thing.
Yeah, all just beautiful stuff all throughout. Nice little monkey in there as well. Is it Horace or Harris?
Horace, yeah.
Yeah.
Get some good moments with sort of Tegan when she's stuck on the sort of the flagpole of the ship, is it?
The mast, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the rigging and all that. Yeah, I love the train sequence as well. That's all brilliant.
It is
mean,
just great.
It's
just
harmless
wonderful.
fun, really, isn't it? The whole thing.
Oh yeah, it's just a fun romp, and you can't go wrong with it, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It perfectly suits the title, "Small Beautiful Audio is What Life is All About," but it's also excellent.
Yeah, I
But
was
I feel
thinking
like
it's
it's almost
excellent.
it's a disservice to put it in the third category, even though that title perfectly suits what it is. So I'd say excellent.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with excellent because I had a lot of fun listening to it. It's one what just flies by, quite literally. It does. And just it's not in your face about the history of Nellie Bly as a character with the exposition of what she did to achieve, like going into like getting better conditions for women in asylums. You know, and
like that
so
is the story. I hadn't heard of Nellie Bly before, but I had heard that story of a woman going into the asylum and like pretending to be mad. That's not something that's covered in this story itself, by the way, guys, but it's something the actual historical figure of Nellie Bly did, and it is mentioned in this story, but obviously not shown.
Like for me, it sort of shows that perfect blend of this is classic Who with new series sensibilities.
Yeah, that's
Very
the
much
celebrity historical, isn't it? But
yes, very much so. It almost feels like a bit of a Jodie Whittaker historical, using lesser known historical figures like the partition of India, or not to say Rosa's a lesser known figure in history, but I know a few people didn't even know who Rosa Parks was, and
I mean, that was
sort of
half the
boycott.
point, isn't it? With
Yeah.
what was that? God, I've got Tosin Cole's character, Ryan.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who she was before, or like he knew vaguely. It was like, isn't she the first woman to sit on a drive a bus?
Yeah.
Says.
It feels like a disservice saying that because of how influential in history they are, But,
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, solid story.
Now we come to the end, and sadly, I don't think it quite lives up to what came before.
No,
It's
I'm
not
in
bad.
agreement.
It's not terrible, but it is a bit of a messy end. Written by Martin Thwaites as well, who did do Feast of Fear. So it's weird that this doesn't live up to that for me. But yeah.
It didn't strike me, to be honest. Like it's quite a short story because it's 25 and 32 minutes, so it's a relatively quick listen. The Daleks, it's an interesting play on the Daleks. It's not a bog standard Dalek story what you think it will be.
Yeah, I like that concept. A lot of it does feel like the golf for me, which I did love that story a lot.
You definitely love that story.
Yeah. The golf from the Third Doctor Ventures Volume 7, for reference for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about there. It's got some similar concepts to that, obviously set at sea again.
On a mining facility sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, but it just doesn't quite work the same. It feels like a cheaper version of it.
I felt like I got lost very easily within the story.
There isn't as much character work.
Yeah.
Support. Like the golf really very much takes the whole of episode 1 just to be the slow character introduction. This not have it. Like, I don't, because two-parters can do that. Like we had that with Fin Time. But here, for whatever reason, that just doesn't happen.
It's I just feel like it's a little bit messy the way the Daleks are in the story as well. There's great build up to them, and that whole sort of mystery of hang on, what's happening to Mark? Why is he in this place? Yet on the TARDIS as well.
Yeah, there's some nice characters up between Mark and the guy he's trapped with. I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Yeah, he wants to get back to his sort of love interest. As well. Yeah, it's absolutely bizarre. But
it was his daughter actually.
Oh, was it?
No, it was his love. No, it was his love interest, but he had a daughter as well. Sorry.
Yeah, because Mark
was throwing you under the bus a bit there.
Mark had a really good little bit because obviously that character meets a untimely end, obviously because Daleks, and he has like a mineral, and Mark's like, no, you are gonna give that to his daughter.
Yeah,
and honor that because that's a dead man's wish. So I like that Mark gets a good moment, and Mark does have some good moments towards the end of the story.
Yeah, I do love those final 5-6 minutes. I think that's brilliant. I think that's very well written, very heartwarming, hits quite hard, especially like, after all that we've been on with this character. I think that was a nice little way of an epilogue. It sort of does follow on from the Lost Resort in that sense, and so I can't complain about that. I can complain about the preceding 50 or so minutes, though, sadly.
Yeah.
I think interesting concepts. But it just doesn't. It also doesn't feel real that the Daleks are in it. Oddly enough,
Yeah.
like in this set, they don't seem to fit this season's style. I would say, which is odd. I can't put my finger on why.
It's sort of strange because they sort of keep Tegan away from the Daleks, and then they introduce. Because I like that Ness has got that known factor of what the Daleks are because of like the mutant phase. That's nice. Nice little bit of tie into Big Finish.
Yeah. And there's also what is the Stockbridge one as well? Fear of the Daleks. No, it's not Fear.
Plague of the Daleks.
Plague of the Daleks. That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, they just seem awkwardly placed within it, especially when the Fifth Doctor sort of meets with Supreme and the other Daleks. Like there are some good little Dalek moments the way they're introduced, like I said. But other than
nice
that,
having the Resurrection Daleks on the cover as well.
I mean, this is going to be really nitpicky, but I kind of want more, 80s style voice.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my sort of problem. Like this is really nitpicky, but I want my Daleks to sound like what they are from the era, really. It's not like Nick Briggs can't do it because he does it with like the 60s Daleks and he started to do it with the 70s Daleks. It's just a shame that
he's done it with some 80s, I'm pretty sure, before.
Yeah, he's done it.
Just not here.
Which is a real shame because like we're getting like the era appropriate Daleks, which I'm a big fan of because I'm a sad fan like that. I like things to match.
It looks like they look nice on the cover as well.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like you look at the cover, like, oh, this is going to be a really good Dalek story. But yeah, I kind of felt underwhelmed by them in it.
It's almost a shame you don't get the Supreme on the cover, come to think of it. But
yeah, there's what 3 Daleks on the cover, so yeah, they could have easily had 1 Supreme.
Yeah, like the one to the right of the Doctor could have been, but
yeah,
nitpick. We're getting that Supreme on what is it? The Dalek Defense. Yeah, Dalek Universe 3. So can't complain, but what? I don't know. It's a disappointing end, but has its strong moments for me.
I think for me, it needs a 0. It needs like a little bit more tweaking.
We put nothing there as well, so it might as well
fill that. Like it has its moments, like we say, like the final few minutes of the story and how it closes the journey of these characters is well done. But it's just how we get to that point where it sort of suffers, like you said earlier.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think that's what makes it even more disappointing, it being the final story in this very good, very solid arc. And again, it is still worthwhile getting because every story up to that point is still brilliant. It's not like one of those arcs, like say Dalek Universe, where it is this ongoing story. It's not let down by a lesser story at the end. It doesn't take away from anything that's come before. It just is unfortunate that it couldn't quite keep up that general strong quality that it had before.
Because you enjoy the Marc stuff not only for the stories, but it's mainly for the character drama and how it continues, how this team grows, how they overcome the theme of the loss of Adric, and it sort of explains why the Fifth Doctor is a little bit more easy with Nyssa going in Terminus because with the events of Lost Resort, it sort of has that sort of closure for the Fifth Doctor ready to move forward and continue life, really.
Yeah, that's very true. I think it sort of feels tacked on after Lost Resort because that's very much the culmination of things, and then it's just sort of okay, we need to say goodbye to Marc now. He served his purpose.
Yeah.
It almost feels like it needed a bit more, but I don't. Yeah.
Or that could just be us wanting more because we know the quality story we're getting. Yeah,
we like what we've had, but it's a shame to say goodbye to Marc, but
it's a shame because
at least his goodbye was very good.
Yeah, definitely
Like,
a
something-
good little closure for him.
Yeah, that's something I can't complain about with Nightmare of the Daleks.
I mean, who
What a-
knows? We can have a return of Mark.
Yeah, you never know. One thing, there is something to do with this. I can't really say what it is, but I wish it had been dropped once or twice before that, after conversion.
Okay.
Like it might, I'm pretty sure it probably was in Madquake, but I think it could have just done with a little reference in the other two stories. But yeah, especially because it ties into this story quite a bit, Nightmare of the Daleks. But I'll tell if you haven't already guessed, I will tell you what that is after the stream.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
so the rest of you will have to guess what I'm on about there. I can't say without spoiling it.
You'll have to listen for it yourself to find out. So that's the Fifth Doctor and Mark tier list. Overall, very positive.
Great stuff throughout.
Absolutely
So,
great stuff.
Like I said, if you do want to just pick up Lost Resort and other stories again, you can. But I wouldn't recommend it because you get so much more out of this whole arc if you listen to it start to finish. Maybe skip out Time Apart though if you're looking to save money, because it is for us the weakest. But and it doesn't add anything to the story overall. It's just set there continuity wise. But yeah, I think that's all we've really got to say about that. That's all I've got to say, Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if you are going to pick up Lost Resort and the other stories and not experience the journey these characters have gone on, then I feel like you're really doing yourself a disservice, really, personally.
Especially because those first stories are brilliant stuff. Like that whole first trilogy we have there is mostly for Mark Sands. Excellent. It's only interstitial that we've knocked down a few pegs, but even then, like we say, character stuff that's throughout that is still great.
And you're gonna get through interstitial, you get Feast of Fear, but then you get Warzone and conversion, so you do get your payoff because it is just it's all worth your time, really. Despite we've crapped on Time Apart, it still has its moments. It has its purpose to have the Doctor just trying to get away from things and get away from responsibility and just liabilities of other people.
Yeah, it is. It's a great exploration of the Fifth Doctor as a whole.
Yeah, and it does feel like a missing link within the Fifth Doctor era, and I think that if you listen to the Mark stuff, you'll have a new appreciation for what the Davison era was trying to do. And I think that this is, I'm going to say it, probably my favourite Davison season.
Yeah, I agree with that, to be fair.
Compared to, I love his TV stuff, but this is just, peak Davison. Best performances by Davison. Great. Every companion serves a purpose. Every companion has a moment, a story dedicated to them, and just lets them shine.
Yeah. This also proves that a free companion team can work in the shorter 45-minute format, or 50-minute, or whatever it is for the new series at the moment, because they juggle that and balance it really well throughout these stories, and the majority of them are two-parters, 2 half-hour parts. So yeah, the same length as your standard new series story, really.
That's really bizarre. But yeah. There we go. That's the Fifth Doctor and Mark tier list all done.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott Hancock, for this brilliant era of the Fifth Doctor. And we look forward to what the new crew, I think David Richardson, isn't it, is like the main one. And we've got John Dorney as script editor, carrying on for 40 next year, celebrating 40 years of Fifth Doctor.
Yeah, that's going to be very exciting to have Fifth Doctor 40. I'm very excited to experience that. Ice Warriors, Adric, Telos Cybermen, or Tubular Cybermen, and Autons in a 6-parter. Very exciting stuff.
Brigadier Chameleon, lots of stuff going on there, all to celebrate. Hopefully a cover soon for Volume 1.
Crossed. Well, yeah, I think now we've got Lost Resort out of the way, it'd be a perfect time to dive into the celebrations of Davison, or the Fifth Doctor.
We're still waiting on Stranded 3 details, but other than that, that's the only thing we haven't got a cover for this year. So presumably covers for next year are going to start coming along any day.
Fingers crossed, and I'm sure we'll cover that in the next stream when we do the news.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick little look through the chat.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's have a look. Whereabouts are we?
Where is it? Yeah, Stylish One did ask, what do you think the individual covers for Lost Resort and other stories would have looked like? Because it would have only been 2 separate covers, because the Perils of Nellie Bly and Nightmare of the Daleks would have shared a double bill cover. But yeah, I mean, any idea what they might have looked like? Or
I would have liked Nellie Bly at least on the cover.
I think maybe it would have been the same as like that second 2 double bill cover would have been the same as what we've got, only with Nellie Bly, Adric swapped out for Nellie Bly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Then you've got things from both her story and the Daleks on there. I think that could have worked.
Yeah, because you've got like a map as well to sort of represent Nellie Bly, haven't you?
Yeah, and then you got the rig and obviously the Daleks for Nightmare of the Daleks.
And then you've got sort of the mist to represent Lost Resort, really. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I imagine you would have had like more of that, and the like you'd have Adric on the cover of Lost Resort, and also the Sanctorum itself. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah, Sanatorium. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have had that on there as well. Maybe a floating lagoon. Who knows? But yeah, I think it would have been nice, but end of the day, it's still a pretty decent cover what we did get.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper. So there we go.
I think Stylish One did also ask a question about how that all worked. Where was that? It was like about the here we go. When these were recorded, says Stylish One, did they know the monthly range would be ending? If not, that's poor for planning. And if so, why did they record so far in advance? So, did you want to give the story behind this one, or?
Oh, because Lost Resort, and I guess Nightmare of the Dalek as well. Actually,
to be fair, it is more Lost Resort, because they couldn't release Nightmare of the Daleks on its own without Lost Resort before it. So
yeah, that is true. Because they dropped it because of COVID. Because they thought it was a bit too grim, because it was sort of reflective of world events.
It's got a virus in it, so it was like when it was recorded, it was planned to come out after Thin Time and Madquake. Like there was a trilogy that was all announced. You could see it on the website. The titles were there. But then they swapped it out, and that's how we got Shadow of the Daleks in its place.
So, we still got our Davison. It's weird. Shadow of the Daleks is a weird release, isn't it? Because it's good, but it's mediocre at the same time, really.
Yeah, we're struggling with Davison Dalek stories, aren't we? Neither of them ended up being the best, sadly.
And Plague of the Daleks isn't well regarded, but I enjoy it. I think the most well regarded Davison Dalek story is probably Dalek Soul and Alien Heart, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I mean, Mutant Phase, that's another one that I don't think anyone raves about particularly.
And then Renaissance of the Daleks, which
that's probably the least well regarded.
Yeah, I really don't like that one.
And even on TV, Resurrection isn't quite raved about too much. Do you have a soft spot for it?
Is this hot take? I prefer it to Remembrance.
Oh, that is hot take.
That is a hot take. It's my favorite 80s Dalek story. I'm not a big fan of Revelation of the Daleks. I've never been a fan of that one, actually.
I'd probably say I prefer it to Revelation, but Remembrance is top dog for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm a basic bitch.
There we go. Put that on a t-shirt. I keep losing my place in the chat.
Yeah. Split Second from Time Jack has perhaps the best Big Finish story synopsis, says Stylish One. Yes, it certainly does. That was I'm just loading up so I could get it right word for word. So yeah, Split Second by Lou Morgan. Oh dear, that wasn't meant to happen, and that is the entirety of the synopsis, and I rate that. That is brilliant stuff there.
Absolutely.
I'm still not getting it, but
I am, because that's me.
There you go.
Benjamin James Miller, I hope Romana goes up against Cybermen. That'd be pretty cool.
Ah. We finally got a Big Finish 2021 clearance sale. Did you pick up new countermeasures too, Ben?
No, I didn't. Mainly because I'm like, I don't really need it.
I see. Countermeasures Series 1 and 2's gone now, though, like the original series. It's just 3 and 4 that are available.
See, I'm not. From what I've listened to the countermeasures stuff from like the Doctor appearances, I'm not too struck on it. So I'm like, do I want to spend £60 on something what I'm not gonna like?
I feel like I'd quite like the original series. Like that's meant to be more hard hitting 60s sci-fi stuff, and but at the same time, I feel like I've missed the boat on the hype for that one. So
yeah,
I can't really. I don't know. It's just like the thing of going back and spending the money on it. I think I'll be fine without it at the moment.
Yeah, I think there's too much to look forward to go back on, if that makes sense as well.
Yeah, very much so. Big Finish just keep releasing so much at the moment. We sort of like budget our months based on what's coming out, don't we? It's difficult to go back and buy old things on top of that.
You know, unless they do like a real big clearance sale where it's like £2, then yeah, I'll be down to buy countermeasures. But yeah, I'm not in a rush to get it at the minute. I'm happy and content with the Big Finish I've got at the minute.
Do you think we'll see Ninth Doctor versus the Black Guardian, since Eccleston said he wanted to work with David Troughton more than any other actor, says Stylish One? Probably not, but I think they could maybe get David Troughton in for another role.
Yeah, for me, I don't really want Eccleston continuity-wise sort of stuff. I don't want many returning stuff, because
a couple of things here and there.
Yeah,
not over
like
the top.
Eccleston Series 1 was just so stripped back to basics Doctor Who. It seems a bit wrong to go, well, we've got Eccleston now, so let's just throw everything at it, really.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
when you do get it in like Planet at the End, is it?
Yeah, that's the one.
It feels earned, and it feels like a treat and a reward. Like, I feel like it loses that specialness if we have it every story. So yeah, I'm not too keen on recurring things for Eccleston personally. Let's focus on
they suit Tennant more.
Yeah,
very much being that more fanboy Doctor, not just in real life, but also the Doctor himself. When he's interacting with the Fifth Doctor, he's a fanboy of him. So yeah, he sort of suits those more referential things. And I think as well, that's when he's opening up as a character, and so it makes sense for the universe around him to open up and get more of those moments. Even then, I feel like the Black Guardian, that's sort of something that's getting left pre-Time War. Like, there is a line in Dalek Universe 2 about how there used to be a lot of these beings kicking about, and now they've all gone for whatever reason. So yeah,
definitely going for it. Stylish One, looking back, you both really don't like the Eighth Doctor Time War, do you? Yeah, that's true. We've done a whole tier list on it. For me, they're the best overall Eighth Doctor box set series. I've not heard Ravenous or Stranded, though. Okay.
I think we rated Stranded quite highly, didn't we, really?
Yeah, Stranded's a nice change of pace, I think. I know Stranded's not for everyone. I've seen quite a few people complain about it. But for me and you, it's that refreshing change, really.
Yeah, and Ravenous is a very good series, I'd say. I think
big fan of Ravenous.
That might be my favorite overall series.
Yeah,
like just take all 4 box sets as a whole. What you get out of it?
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, I'd agree with Ravenous there.
Yeah, I mean, Doom Coalition, very good in second half. Good to us 2 episodes, but Doom Coalition 2 is what lets that down as an overall thing.
Yeah, let's not talk about Doom Coalition 2.
And Dark Eyes, like we said, very disjointed, but some good moments.
Very good.
Yeah. Benjamin James Miller. I hope series 2 of the Ninth Doctor Adventures will feature Rose because she was an integral part of the first series of Christopher Eccleston. Do you think we're going to get Rose?
No.
I'm doubting it. I feel like that would have been an announcement if it was.
That would have been the tagline, series 2 with Rose, but no.
Yeah. I mean, they could come along with it later, but yeah, I can't. I feel like if they secured Eccleston for recording in advance and have the scripts already written, they'd have secured Billy Piper, and so could have announced it alongside it. So yeah, I think it's going to be him on his own again, which I'm cool with.
Yeah, I mean, I would like a Rose box set at some point, just to have that true flourish of 2005 Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not at that point, sadly, and I think it's weird that the Eccleston stuff that normally Big Finish put it in a can and then once it's all recorded they announce it, whereas with the Eccleston stuff,
it's once they've got him contractually down for it, isn't it?
Because they know he'll do it. He loves it. He's had the Big Finish lunches. He's all over it now. He's up for it.
Yeah, it's nice he's been honest as well about how, I'm an actor doing a job. I want money, but in the sense that he wants to provide for his family, put food on the table. It's not a sense of I want to buy a second jacuzzi for my villa in Spain.
Like Eccleston's got to have a jacuzzi. He's a Manchester lad. He ain't going to be doing that.
So that's all well and good. And thankfully he's enjoying it at the same time and getting a real kick out of these stories. He seems to be loving them. He thinks his top drawer writing is how he's described it, isn't it? So
which is the main thing.
Looking forward to more of that.
Do seem to be catering for Eccleston's needs, really, don't they? Like they're giving him stories he wants, which is exciting. So I'm sure that the stuff what he said in his interview earlier about doing one in Manchester or Salford, I'm sure we'll see a story set in Salford.
Yeah, like he's got Macbeth coming up with series with Lost Warriors. He had like a story very much built around music, and he's spoke about his love of music with Fright Motif. So yeah, it does all feel very suited to him. And also, speaking of not having Rose there again, I like how they're building that and making it into their own era instead, without her like this pre-Rose. Even the setting for one story, Girl Deconstructed, is 2004. So kind of a period piece, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But at the same, it is for this era sensibility. It's like the present in it, isn't it? That's the contemporary story. So I wonder if they'll do that for the next series as well, or maybe the Brigadier one also. Because where is just load up Night Doctor Adventures on my end? Well, actually, it's not even there. Like they mentioned in the news article about the stories that they're going to be doing. Where up? From an old railway station to the seas of Titan to a very unusual furniture store in the present day. It's another trip of a lifetime. So that's what David Richardson had to say. So we get a little tease, but presumably that's the first 3 stories of the first box set.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm excited about those because we don't have any covers or proper details.
Yeah, I like that we got a little tease though. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I love an old railway station story.
Oh yeah, the Mouthless Dead was a good one. That was a good story.
That's going to be great. And then very unusual furniture store, intriguing stuff.
Yeah. Is he going to go to like a DFS sale and like, oh no, the sale's not for sale? And he's like, oh no, can't have that.
Yeah. See, this is what we need for Series 13, though.
Yeah.
This gives away nothing. We don't have episode titles or anything. We just have a little teaser. Oh, we're going to an old railway station. We're going to a furniture store. We're going to Seas of Titan. Why not give us that for Series 13? Say we're going to Liverpool. Where
we meet a plasterer called Dan.
Yeah. And he gets the face off against some Sontarans.
And maybe some angels. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Except for wait and see.
This spoils nothing. This ruins. This doesn't ruin the experience for anyone whatsoever. But for some reason, the BBC are very secretive about what we're allowed to say about Series 13.
It's so silly, so silly.
Yeah. We keep going back to that, but it's
it's true.
They make it so easy to pick. Like even John Bishop picks picks up on it and makes
Yeah.
fun of it.
Yeah, even BBC News were like, "Can you tell us anything?" Oh no. Even they were joking about it. So like, well, what chance do they have?
There you go.
Thoughts on the 4 Tortured versus the Monsters audios, Night of Fendal, Green Life, Sync, and Sargasso. Did you pick up any of those?
No, I
Didn't-
picked up the Night of Fendal and Green Life. Sorry, I didn't pick up the latter two. I liked the two I got though.
Yeah, Night of the Fendal is probably my favourite of the bunch of those. Green Life's pretty good. Good to have Joe back, and a good continuation from the Green Death and how, Land Fairfax had advanced and changed since the Green Death. And then
Works with like that Welsh setting as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That suits it.
It sort of screams torture, doesn't it? So yeah, that was a story that made sense. And Sync was a good little continuation, good little prequel to Boomtown. So that was a good one.
I think James J. Alcom Reviews has sung the praises of that release in particular.
Yeah, he loves it more than me. And then Sargasso, I wasn't too keen on from memory.
No, I think that's sort of what put me off getting that in the end, because I was quite excited for what that could be. But yeah, then he said it was a bit disappointing, so I ended up not getting it. Yeah, I think, isn't that one of those ones where the cover has nothing to do with the story in relation? Like, it's got Owen with the no, not Owen, sorry, Reese. Kai Owen's the actor, that's why I've got yeah. Reese with like the Auton gunners for a hand, but that's not from the story itself. That's just creative liberties.
All I really remember is rubber ducks from this. That's about it.
There we go.
All about it.
I think that one did win an award or so, or was nominated for an award and went on sale. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I wouldn't say it was that award.
Oh dear. Maybe it's an ecological awareness award.
Oh, maybe.
I'm just just gonna check the release now. There you go, Sargasso. No, it doesn't say anything on it about winning an award. Okay. But I swear it did go on sale for like that reason, like one of those audio. They always do that when they. Yeah, obviously it didn't win because it hasn't got anything. Amazing to think that Eccleston never went to an alien world on TV. Big Finish are now rectifying that. Yeah, I mean, he does it in one of the novels, but yeah, certainly not on TV because it was very Earth-based, wasn't it?
Very grounded. Yeah, it was either orbit in orbit. Yeah, which is all fine, because they wanted to show that Doctor Who isn't all about silly aliens and jellies in quarries, really. So yeah, it works. Have you picked up the 11th Doctor Chronicles Volume 2 yet? No, I haven't. I'm a fake fan. And hopes for 11th Doctor Companion, 11th Doctor Chronicles 3. I don't know, because I know that they're trying to plan a new era for the 11th Doctor, so it'd be interesting to see the 11th Doctor get sort of the time-jacked treatment, really, I guess.
Aidan Woodhead, I feel like Nightmare of the Daleks could have worked better being a 4-parter. The premise is interesting, but I didn't have enough room to breathe, and the ending was fairly rushed in my opinion. It's a shame you didn't like the ending, is it? Yeah, if you're still listening, Aidan, because this comment was left sadly quite a while ago. Do you mean the ending as in the resolution as to how they wrap up the story, or the ending as in the goodbye afterwards? But yeah, I can agree it might have been a better 4-parter, but then you could have lost Perils and Nellie Bly, and I think you needed a story in between Lost Resort and that to just have a bit of fun and take a breath. So, but yeah, I feel like 4-parter could have suited this story more, make it a bit more like the golf, and spend an episode getting to know some characters before things start going weird.
Yeah, it's a sort of a shame, really, that it was sort of put into a box set format, because almost you could stretch out to another box set to get Nightmare of the Daleks in a way.
Yeah,
I've been quite happy to have Lost Resort, Nellie Bly, and then insert other story, and then Nightmare of the Daleks in a way.
Yeah, I suppose as well, because it wasn't even the box set format that did that, was it? Because it was a
No.
trilogy originally when it was
Yeah, so
recorded.
you'd still would have had that problem, I guess. But yeah, I definitely agree that it would have worked a lot better as a 4-parter, personally.
Yeah, but it's over now.
Yeah, it's all done. It's history.
Yeah,
and we can soon add it to our Big Finish shelves.
yeah. I got the dispatch email today. I think. Did you find if you had yours?
Yeah, I've got it along with Philip Hinchcliffe, so that'll be nice.
So we'll be looking forward to those popping through our letterbox soon.
Yeah, but where do you put it? Do you put it with the other monthly range, or do you put it with the Fifth Doctor box set and Wicked Sister? These are the challenges we face.
God. I feel like that would be it's sacrilege to put it with the monthly range stuff.
Yeah, with the numbers,
especially if we're going to slot it in between, because they're not all together anyway. You're like doing a what some people do where they organize it with their DVDs and Blu-ray collections and books.
I hate those people.
Sorry if anyone's listening.
No, it makes no sense.
I mean, it makes sense. It just doesn't look nice.
No, it's not visually pleasing. Like it's like cold fusion. What do? Do you put it with Davison?
You buy two, or you get a saw.
Oh no! You don't. Oh, does that mean you saw the discs in half as well? Like, that's got McCoy on the cover, so I shall put that in the McCoy section. No, that was shocking.
Okay. What are you going to do with Peladon if that does end up being 4 different Doctors?
And it's only one cover. My God, their logic is screwed.
Oh dear. Yeah, there you go. I think. I don't know. At the moment, I don't really have a organized setup for my CDs anyway. I need to get like a new shelf or something to properly organize all this.
See, I've started to sort of rearrange for like the box sets. Like First Doctor, Third. Well, there's no Second Doctor at the minute because he hasn't had the box set treatment yet. But Beyond the War Games will fill that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have another little gander in the old chat.
Yeah, I think probably be the stylish one, the Lost Resort box set makes me happy that I arrange all my Big Finish chronologically, not by range. Yeah, I think fair enough if you're just arranging Big Finish chronologically, as long as you're not mixing in the books and DVDs.
The chronological stuff sort of confuses me.
No, yeah, some of them don't quite fit, do they?
Yeah,
they're not made that way. But
I feel like when you get to that point, you're kind of waiting for like a little reference, a little line, just to go, okay, that goes there. Like it just makes my brain hurt. I'm like, focus on the story.
I'll tell you what does make my brain hurt when someone in the extras says something about, it's obviously placed here, and you're like, no. No, Sophie, it is not placed during your TV era when you are with Mel, and it's quite clearly after Hex.
Oh, gosh.
Love your Sophie Aldred, but no.
No. Yeah. Aidan Woodhead. To answer, I thought the emotional resolution was well done and touching and fitting, but the themes of the box set, just the plot resolution was rushed, in my opinion. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Completely agree.
Benjamin James Miller, is the Fourth Doctor Adventures Series 12 is tie-in Unit Nemesis? No, Series 13 potentially. Not sure how much it will tie in, but very much it is where Naomi and Harry come from. It's hard to tell at the moment how that's going to quite all work, but yeah, 2024 is where we find out about that.
Well, we get those answers, so we'll just have to wait and see for those.
Yeah, it's going to be weird hearing them in the meantime in Unit Nemesis.
Yeah, that's the sort of the pulling factor for me to pick that one up, actually, just to see, and Tom.
And they're even with Tom Baker as well.
Oh, it's annoying.
Bizarre.
It's annoying.
Yeah. What can we do?
We're torn. We really are torn.
Yeah.
Aside from Rufus Hound, is there anything that you would actively make you not want to buy a Big Finish release? I I mean,
I feel
there's stuff you pass on, isn't there? Naturally, like Lady Christina.
Yeah, it's just not like when you say actively make me not want to buy it, it makes it sound like I hate the very concept of it and don't want to pick it up. I wouldn't say that's the case for me with anything. It is more just a case of I'm less interested in that. Big Finish is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm going to ignore that for now, just because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of getting literally everything. I get practically everything at the moment. I don't want to get literally everything.
I think I've come to that conclusion where I'm not after a complete Big Finish collector. I'm getting the Big Finish that I want and I enjoy. I think
it's not worth the headache, is it?
No, because then you're like, where am I going to put it?
Yeah, that's the thing. We have enough trouble with that as it is.
What am I going to do with, Judge Dredd? I've never experienced it. Why am I going to get it? Dark Shadows, not interested. Like, I love Big Finish, but I have my niche, and Dog 2's my niche.
Yeah. Like, even if there's a release I feel like I probably would enjoy, it is just that thing of, if I can find a reason to pass on it, I will at this point. Because there's so much I'm addicted to it. There's no way I'm not picking up a third Doctor adventure or almost any like Doctor Who release, I'd say at this point.
Yeah.
I think an automatic pickup.
I think this year in particular has become so rich. You don't want to miss anything. You've got Dalek Universe, Ninth Doctor, Third Doctor. There's just so much rich pickings. You do have to make sacrifices with certain things.
It's also, without the main range, it's harder to tell like how much you're spending in relation to other years, because that was just like you spend all that at once, you get all that out of the way, and then you're just getting like one release a month at least secured, and then like you have those bonus box sets.
If anything, you're probably spending more now because of there's about 3 or 4 different releases a month now.
Yeah, that's true. But even like, was it like that before though? Because
I guess you didn't really notice because you had the main range subscribed, so you wouldn't.
Yeah, and obviously that was
think about
cheaper, but
that was 130, wasn't it, for the CD, and you got a free gift as well.
I'm going to go back and check this time September last year. So yeah, it was Time War 4 this time last year. Wow,
Blimey, that's a year old.
September, yeah, and the New Adventures of Bernie Summerfield box set. So those were the 2 box sets. So it was 2 box set and the one monthly range release. Because it was December that was the double. August. Yeah, it was only Out of Time 1 as well. Sixth Doctor and Perry and Tortured Soho. So yeah, maybe it is like a bit more expensive now. Who knows?
But we're getting stories we want.
We're also in like a weird little mid point, aren't we, between the relaunch and the end of the monthly range at the moment? So it's sort of hard to tell with that.
I think that's why we really enjoyed Lost Resort, because it was a 4-parter.
Yeah, and it was planned and recorded as a monthly range story. I say with the other 2 afterwards, but yeah, particularly Lost Resort helped that.
Yeah, it's a strange one, but yeah.
Coming out in September as well, the month that was common for 2 releases in the main range at once, it really did help that feeling.
Yeah, it definitely does have that feel of like, oh, that warm, cozy main range feel. We don't have anymore.
Yeah, we sort of like lost that safety blanket, haven't we?
Yeah, because it's opened up the door for more things and hopefully for more people, which is the main exciting thing of it all.
Yeah. The more people buy Big Finish, the longer it can go on.
Yeah, and don't pirate it. Support Big Finish.
Here, interesting but stylish one. There is no way in my books that 7 Ace and Mel stuff is post-Hex. I'm a massive fan of Hexarch, and I thought Ace regressing as a character after that does not gel well with me at all. Is there a story? So yeah, for that one, it is set post-Hex because of what You Are the Doctor and Other Stories. Like the start of that anthology is specifically about them dealing with the loss of Hex, isn't it? Like saying goodbye to specifically mentioned, and also each release in that story does set up Hex. Not Hex. Set up Mel coming along in A Life of Crime. Like there is definitely that progression there. So Mel does come after Hex, canonically, I guess. But I do agree with what you say that it does feel like there's a bit of a regression in her character. I mean, even Sophie Aldred has noticed that and seems to think that that means it is set before Hex for her. But yeah, that is never like in terms of how the story works. It's meant to be after Hex, but I could see why that is a bit of an odd one.
Well, it should be like Hector, shouldn't it? Really, because you got Hector, yeah.
But he does turn back to Hex at the end.
Yeah, that's true. That's a weird trilogy of stories, actually. Why did some months have 2 months of monthly range? I think that's down to Doctor Who magazine, I think.
Yeah, because that has like 13 releases a year, didn't it? So they wanted to tie that in so like they can preview each one in each one, wasn't it? And stuff, just to have that all line up. And it also gave us one little extra a month.
Yeah, that was a nice little treat, really.
I suppose it did also mess with some people's subscriptions as well, though.
Yeah,
because like
true.
you go for the 12-month one and you think, that'll give me, I'll then renew at the same time next year and the same time the year after that. But you end up sort of knocking it back a month. You get 11 months really, which
but you get your free gift, so it's not too bad.
No.
Do you think we get more Rain Creevy if Big Finish sort out the Andrew Cartmel situation? I don't know the Andrew Cartmel situation. I think he's willing to do Big Finish, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure quite what the situation is. I imagine if they do sort out, we would get more of her, but
I mean, it might be ideal because obviously the 7th Doctor's last days, so maybe they do like a final act of victory. So I wouldn't rule it out. And Beth Chalmers does a lot for Big Finish. She's playing Veclin in the Time War stuff, so it's all good.
Wasn't the Andrew Cartmel stuff actually I used her in Unit Dominion without asking?
Maybe that's
the thing. Because they just assumed, it's a character now, we've got her. But yeah, I mean, because she hasn't had a departure, has she? So
no, she hasn't. No,
neither is Ace.
Yeah, that's well, unless you count like Gallifrey Time or whatever.
Yeah, but she hasn't had like a departure from the Doctor.
And
but she's meeting the 10th Doctor and stuff post all that. So, and we had Dark Universe. Ace is a mess.
Yeah, the ending for Ace is Ground Zero, where she dies. That's the ending of Ace for me. That's a hot take. Andrew Cartmel was outraged at the use of Rain in Unit Dominion without permission. Okay, there we go. That's the situation. Yeah. I'm sure that bridge will be healed. I'm sure we'll get something.
I mean, it's been over 8 years now.
9 years, because that was 2012 Unit Dominion. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a bizarre one, isn't it? But because certainly he hasn't done anything with them since Andrew Cartmel.
No.
But, yeah, hopefully that is all sorted out. Like, I'm not really clamoring for any Rain stuff, but I think.
Have you experienced any of the Rain stuff actually?
No, I haven't really. But so that's probably why I'm not clamoring for any more.
Yeah.
But, I mean, are you clamoring for any more? Do you want more Rain?
No, really.
I think part of me thinks it would be because she's like the third TV companion for McCoy in a way, isn't she? Even though she never debuted on TV in the end because that got cut before it could. But yeah, I suppose as well, it'd just be nice to have 7th Doctor with a new companion, like a different companion from the usual setup.
Yeah,
they'll still find a way to stick Ace in there, but
yeah, they'll find a way to bring it. Like even in the Mag Trilogy, you're like, we'll put her in an alien werewolf in London. There you go.
Yeah.
Where she's pointless. She doesn't need to be in that story, Ace.
Well,
there we go. Why does the Unit Dominion look really faded as a physical CD? I think it's just the way the box has sort of a reflective tinge to it, really. I think it's just the way the light.
One of the first box sets, isn't it? So they probably weren't quite ready with the printing stuff yet. Whereas now they know what to do. They're doing it all the time.
Yeah, it's practically every month now a box set, isn't it, for them?
Yeah. How long until we see that Big Finish Q&A with Paul McGann being asked Twitter questions? They took those questions a while back now from the stylish one. I don't even remember that. But
I don't actually.
Maybe that'll be to tie in with Stranded 3 if it did happen.
Yeah, that's a good guess. That's a good guess. That makes sense for when they would do it.
Yeah, I remember they did like ages ago for the warehouse. They did some Sylvester and Bonnie questions, but and they said like, "Oh, that'll be on the extras." I don't remember it being on the extras.
Well, I don't remember those either, actually.
Yeah, but I do recall that being like posted out. So that's going really far back though.
Yeah, that's what 6 years. That's mental.
Yeah, God, that's a weird thought. That's also the last time the Seventh Doctor encountered the Daleks. Not the warehouse. We are the Daleks just before that. He hasn't met them since. So 6 years without Seventh Doctor and Daleks.
And all his Dalek stories have been very solid.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Unlike Peter.
Oh, poor Peter.
Yeah. When he's getting best stuff, he just doesn't get the best Dalek stories.
Colin just seems to get all the Dalek stories.
Yeah, he's been getting some good ones as well.
Yeah.
Emissary, Order, Masters of Earth.
Oh, absolute crackers.
Yeah. Part of me wants the Seventh Doctor to get a new one in the relaunch, like as the first one, but I'm not sure how well that'll suit his last days.
Well, he'll probably have a Dalek story when he goes and picks up the
Oh
master.
yeah, I guess it's got its tides. Yeah, so
I guess I'll have that.
Yeah, depending on.
But it wouldn't be a full-on Dalek story, will it?
No. But they could work a full-on Dalek story in there somehow.
It's not just going to be like McCoy in like a waiting room going, "Oh, you can go and get the master now." And it's just like a little urn.
Do you think we'll ever get new Dalek designs on Big Finish covers? Because we're getting new Cyberman designs now. Could we get like a recolor Dalek? Because I saw out on Twitter someone recolored the Remembrance Daleks, the Imperial ones, and did like a black and gold one as the supreme of those. Like, imagine something like that on a cover.
Yeah, that's bizarre actually. Yeah. I mean, I'll be down for it because I think that's why Order of the Dalek stands out because it's obviously a unique Dalek, and if character options wants to do some Daleks, and slide over to Big Finish's DMs and give us those.
Yeah, we did get that with a Thing of Guile, didn't we? Technically, like that was a unique Dalek design. Yeah,
that is true. But it'd be nice to see a little bit more out there. Gosh, I'm tired.
I think that's time to wrap it up soon.
Yeah, we'll wrap up in say 11 o'clock and make it fair.
Yeah,
7 minutes. And
7 more minutes. The countdown is on. Minutes.
Countdown is on. What do you guys think of Ruth Madeley becoming Sixth Doctor companion for the new box sets? I'm personally excited for her. Yeah, pretty excited for it to see how that works with Mel. Yeah, it's all good stuff, really.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Seeing what they can do with a trio of companions again for 6, because Colin likes his crews now.
He does like his parent.
It's a shame we couldn't get like what we get with the 4th Doctor and just some titles or something. They're keeping it all close to their chest.
That's the annoying thing. That is the annoying thing with the set, really, personally.
Yeah. How do you think they're going to be divided up? Do you think this is going to be like all 3-parters, like 4 3-parters for these?
Yeah, I think when Nick said about it, it would be mainly a 3-parter, beginning, middle, and end. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I think 6th Doctor kind of suits that as well. Hebe is part of a survey team on an abandoned North Sea oil rig. As her colleagues disappear one by one, she teams up with a Dr. Mel to find out what's really happening. So there you go. You do at least get details for the first story in a way.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, we're going back to the sea with an oil rig. Yeah.
Hopefully it's better than Nightmare of the Daleks.
Yeah, it's sort of good with her being a marine biologist. It kind of gives me Shadows of the Vashton Armada vibes.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That sounds like a good story. I'm interested to see who's writing it and how many parts it's going to be and such.
I'm sure we'll find out in a couple of months' time, really. I guess we'll have a bit more news on each Doctor by then, really. Why were the Daleks on the new Countermeasures Dalek Gambit cover changed for the 80s one to bronze ones? I think it was just down to more of a marketing case,
I
really.
think Countermeasures is one of those ones that seems to be struggling in sales. Like, it's been cancelled twice now because of that.
Yeah.
Big Finish can't help but bring things back.
It's their way. They can't say goodbye. It's like Gallifrey. That'll come back in a new form.
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah, that is actually properly coming back, isn't it?
Yeah, which
They said about any extras.
It's a shame, really. Really.
Scott Hancock's moving on though, so
That'd be interesting who takes over Scott Hancock.
Yeah, it's I think we're moving on from the Time War though with that.
Yeah,
So at least I'm excited to see what they can do there.
I'm interested to see how this Time War tapestry looks, to be honest, because I have genuinely no idea how it all fits together.
Yeah, it does all feel a bit messy.
Favorite John Hurt War Doctor box set cover? I'd probably say Infernal Devices.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that one.
Favorite War Master box set cover aside from Killing Time? I'd say Only the Good for me.
I'd probably go Anti-Genesis.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. But then you've got floating Mark Gatiss. What kind
of he does look a bit dodgy on that. I like Hearts of Darkness as well.
Yeah, it's just floating heads, floating head jack a bit. It's just weirdly sort of blended. But still good covers. Thoughts on the individual Only the Good covers? They're pretty solid. It's nice to have the War Master have individual covers. I think Beneath the Viscoid's the best one of the bunch, personally.
Yeah, I think it suits that box set as well because that is the most individual of them. Like from there, it has very much been one long story, so it sort of works under one cover. But especially things like Master of Callus, like that is very much just one long story. I could see that struggling a bit more with individual covers.
Yeah, it definitely would, because it would be like an Ood or, it'd be much like a tortured cover in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been too bad, but I think it's not missing out much without them. Do you think we're going to go back to individual stories with the next set? Because we're going from 2 writers to 4.
Yeah, I think probably we will go to sort of the single.
An anthology style.
Yeah, and then Tennant just rock up at the end.
Yeah, that seems to be the work. Because certainly it is just Tennant in that final story. So, yeah. Okay. I mean, we've got to wait till June, so we'll see when we get details.
Fingers crossed we get a cover soon.
Yeah, we got Master of Killing Time way in advance, didn't we? So it makes you wonder. But I kind of hope we don't, in a way, because that did harm Killing Time for me a bit. Like having the trailer and the cover so early, it made it feel a bit weird when it was finally out. It's like, didn't we already have this? Oh, no, we didn't. Yeah, it's like they burnt all the oil too soon.
Yeah, but I think that's a common problem with Big Finish, that they just announce stuff and then you have the hype and then you've got to wait a year. It's like 10th Doctor Classic Companions. You're like, oh, great, that's exciting. It was announced in December and now we're a year away and it's...
Yeah, well, that was one of those bizarre things you sort of like see, oh, that's coming out September. Oh, that's going to be exciting. And then you realize September 2022, you think, wow,
that's a long time away. It's like 11th Doctor Chronicles as well, actually. That was announced.
That was a weird one, wasn't it?
Yeah, bizarre.
Yeah, and you could tell that was a funny one as well because it's 4 episodes, whereas now that most box sets, it's switching to 3. So that must have been planned a while back. Because sometimes it's just down to where they think it will perform best, isn't it? What releases around it and stuff. Like they don't want to stick too many in a row. Like the reason the Fourth Doctor is so spaced out, even if Tom Baker's recording loads, is because you can't release all those Tom Bakers month after month.
No.
People will get fatigued.
It creates hype and it just builds excitement, doesn't it? Really for it all. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we've been lucky with Tom this year because we had Series 10, the Lost Stories, and then Dark Protocol, then God of Phantoms.
Yeah, you say lucky, but
yeah, well, fairly happy with it all, really.
I re-listened to Shadow of the Sun last night. Actually,
Oh,
that was a
did
good time. Yeah, it's a funny little throwback to early on in the pandemic when we had that like really fast output, didn't we? That came along.
Because that was out the day Ravagers came out, so that's bizarre, really, to think.
Yeah, that's true. How far we've come since then.
Within a year, mental, absolutely mental.
Yeah. So that, if you haven't picked up Shadow of the Sun, it is a good little taste of what the Fourth Doctor range can do. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, it's one of those stories what suits our format.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that also works for that quick release as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
that was meant to be for like Series 13, wasn't it? But then
they say 13.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure they might have slipped up and meant to say 14. Unless the Harry and Naomi stuff was going to be 14 instead, but then just things shifted around since. Yeah. Like how long? We've known about that over a year now.
Yeah,
because that was bizarre. Big Finish Day last year. Or the digital one back in August.
Yeah, and we haven't had one this year, so we haven't had any juicy news to get excited about.
Yeah, hopefully we won't have a new Fourth Doctor series for announcement for a while. I wonder if maybe they're holding off on that, and like Series 13 is going to be the last of it in that form, and then it will go more into proper relaunch territory, depending on how that works out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because they're using like the subtitles now, like Fourth Doctor Solo, whatever they've called it. It makes sense just to carry on with the subtitles and to lose it.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, do you think 40 is going to become like Series 1 of Fifth Doctor Adventures?
I feel like that's a special release in a way.
Yeah, but it's being included as part of the relaunch. That's what makes me wonder. Because the Sixth Doctor one in the Ruth Madley article, I've clicked on the wrong article. Luckily, I'm not screen sharing. No one would have seen that. But okay. Here we go. I'm on the right one now. They sort of describe it as Sixth Doctor Adventures Volume 1. And then they say title TBA. But the release page itself was still Sixth Doctor 2022A title TBA. So yeah,
it's still early days, isn't it?
Yeah, and then like you've got the Ninth Doctor seemingly doing something similar, where that's like Series 1, but each box set in the series has its own individual title. Then Series 2 and each individual title there. So who knows? Yeah, just want details on this relaunch, how it all works. Like we still don't quite understand it all yet.
I just want a massive news article with all this sort of stuff to come and be like, yeah, it's great. So I know that they were hinting at, somebody wrote into the podcast about the Beyond the War games, and Nick was like, we're not going to say anything until it's in the can, but it's not what you expect.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I thought I wouldn't mind if maybe that swapped places with 42. Just so we don't have to wait 9 months for, especially if we're going to have Second Doctor Companion Chronicles, hopefully sometime next year. Then that could sort of like come in the first half and then save Beyond War Games for September.
Yeah, that's the exciting thing. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Did you guys not like God of Phantoms? Yeah, we weren't too keen on it.
No.
We did a whole sort of tier list on Philip Hinchcliffe, so you can check out what we thought of it on there.
Aidan Woodhead, did you get the whole Doctor Who bundle for 2022? Oh yeah, hi Peter. I didn't. I might do at some point, but
I did.
yeah, you bit the bullet.
I bit the bullet because at the end of the day, I know I'm probably going to get it all. So for me, it just makes sense to get the bundle. And what else am I going to spend my money on? Real life stuff or Doctor Who? Doctor Who. It's simple answer.
You get it all physical, so it's technically real life stuff in a way.
It is real. I know what I've spent that money on, so I'm like, okay, that's cool. And it's just easy then. I'm like, all right, I don't have to worry about it now. I've got next year Big Finish covered, so the streams are continuing next year at least.
Yeah. Does what's it called, like bookcases and shelves and stuff to put releases on count as real life stuff?
No,
buying more storage space.
Yeah, I think that counts.
Thing.
Yeah.
I'm tempted by like a specific vinyl one because I know you've got one of those, like a little box to put it all in. I've seen a nice like crate they do that's like the right side. That looks quite snazzy.
I do need to get another box of my vinyls because Ravagers is basically filled that one up.
Yeah,
so I'm just going to wait and see.
Yeah, I can send you a link on that if you want to screen share, show off the.
I'll have a little look at that. Will you regret getting the bundle if Rufus Hound's in one of those releases? Yes, I shall burn that release and I shall not listen to it.
Oh my dear.
I'm joking, by the way. Got my brother to watch one classic episode a day in the lead up to the 60th. 70 dives in. We're on to the chase. Just 2 years to go. Good luck with your marathon.
Oh, well done.
Chase is a good one. That's a good little comedy. I like the chase.
Yeah, it's a time when Doctor Who wasn't taking itself seriously. That's what makes it quite interesting.
It's just doing something a little bit fun with the Daleks, really.
Yeah, and it very much does feed into that 60s mania, doesn't it? Dalek mania. It's like showing them
sort of scale of it all. Yeah.
Stylish one asked, do you get everything on download, Luke, or do you get some things on CD? Yeah, I very much mix between the two at the moment. Like I get vinyl even. I've very much gone big on the vinyl, like we talked about there with storage for it. But yeah, Fourth Doctor, for the most part, I do get all that on CD. I've got my Philip Hinchcliffe Presents God of Phantoms Dispatch coming. Fifth Doctor I also got on CD because like I thought with monthly range ending, I might as well finish out that subscription. And then with the Marc stuff, I thought I've got all the others on CD as the main range. I might as well get Lost Resort on CD as well. But yeah, for the most part, download now, but it is very much like pick and choosing what would I like to look really good on the shelf. Because I feel like when I get everything, if I was to get everything as well, like I used to, a lot of things become less special because it's just another package I'm opening. Whereas now I'm really looking forward to my Philip Hinchcliffe Presents and Lost Resort. Even if I wasn't a fan of the story, I'm just looking forward to having that physical copy because it's more of a novelty for me at the moment to get those.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to work out, will I have had... no, I will have had more CDs this year than vinyl. I was just thinking, what if I bought more vinyl this year than CD? But no.
Well, you've committed to Dalek Universe, and I guess you're going to finish Eccleston off now. Well, the first batch, whether you get Series 2 on vinyls, yet to be decided. It's still early days to decide about that.
Yeah, I think if I do decide that, I probably will go to bundle just to save the money. I think partly with the Eccleston bundle, it was I've already spent all this money on Dalek Universe. Do I really want to do this all? But yeah,
you've committed now. You've committed.
Yeah, I think at least they divided it up in series 1 and 2, so that way there is like that stepping off point of you don't have to feel committed now. You can stop. It's Donna in Runaway Bride. You can stop now.
That's what my bank account says to me as I spend more money at Big Finish.
There we
Oh
go.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite individual cover from each War Doctor box set? I'd say The Innocent, then The Never When, then I guess Shadow Vortex, and then the Leela story, the middle one, maybe. Yeah, that's I'd fly through them.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I think maybe like the Thousand Worlds instead for the first one, like with all those toy Daleks. But
Yeah, that's a charm. That's a charm.
Yeah. Never When definitely for Infernal Devices. That's a good one.
Hopes for Doctor Who BBC Centenary special. I don't know, to be honest.
It's hard to tell without even getting through Series 6 yet, but
No, Series 13, you mean?
Series 13. Where am I getting this 6 from?
Where, like, you're talking about Eccleston with Davison. What's happened to you tonight?
I do not know. Just shoot me now. Put me out of my misery.
Yeah.
Go and see now.
It is late. It's fine. Yeah, just a good story and a good send off for Jodie, to be honest. That's all I really want.
Peter asks, do you guys collect Target audiobook readings? We don't have the money.
No, Big Finish takes all that.
Yeah. We've got them on Blu-ray as well and DVD.
We've got them on the shelf already. I mean, I do have a couple of the Target audiobooks when they did like the Pandorica wave with the figures.
Oh.
But yeah, those are the only ones I've got.
I mean, maybe after Scourge, I'd be tempted. Scourge of the Cybermen, like that was, but I certainly wouldn't go around collecting them all specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I've listened to the Five Doctors one just to hear John Coleshaw's Brigadier before Third Doctor Volume 5 came out.
Yeah,
that was good. That was a good one.
Do you collect them then, Peter? Is that something like? Because I know that's sort of like a niche thing, isn't it? I think a lot of older fans go for that as well.
Yeah. I guess it depends how much of an attachment you have to the Target books, because I think for us, we're a generation where we can have it on our shelves, whether that be video. Because I guess we were sort of the last sort of generation to have videos, really, I guess.
Yeah. Whereas I think a lot of like fans before that who did get them originally do quite like having them to listen to. I know there are quite a few people who do prefer the Target version to the televised version, sometimes because it's what they've read first or experienced first, and sometimes just because they prefer it because it does some things better, explores things a bit more.
Favorite RTD era Christmas special? I would say The Next Doctor. That might be a hot take.
I'm a Christmas Invasion man. It's a classic.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to do a tier list on those.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
It looks like they're ending. Looks like they ended a while ago, so
hopefully that doesn't become out with days.
Yeah. New show and we'll bring them back.
Fingers crossed.
Peter says, I have a few of the readings, but not many, trying to cut down on buying CDs. That is totally understandable. They take up a lot of space. Also, they're not very environmentally friendly either. But
are you just trying to at me with my CD collection?
Nah.
Are you trying?
You have I respect that you have the space for it.
There we go. I think that's everything, really.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
Yeah, time for some cocoa in bed, I think, for me.
Yeah.
It's been a long old week. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us for this Fifth Doctor Marc tier list, where we've done the recent big. So I'm getting tongue tied now because I'm tired. The recent Big Finish news, especially you tonight. Gosh, you saw a fantastic instead of excellent. It's bizarre. Yeah. I wish I had the space to. Yeah, that's the big thing with all the Big Finish. And everything. Have you finished Game of Thrones? Not yet. Not finished it yet. I haven't had the time to finish it. It's just been chaotic.
He's been a busy boy.
Busy boy doing all manner of stuff.
Missed the tier list, but great talking to you guys virtually. Did you want to pop up the tier list just so we can have a look at it?
Have I closed? I might have closed.
Oh,
the
you
thing.
closed the tab. Ah,
No. Actually, I've got the tier list. I've saved the tier list.
no, we can have that pop up as we say goodbye.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's your tier list.
There you go, Peter.
So you can all check it out for one last time. So that is the 5th Doctor Mark Adventures. That's been tonight's stream. If you want to go back and listen to our thoughts if you missed it, then please do. Where we have a good old natter and praise this wonderful series of adventures. So thank you everyone for joining us. I don't know when the next stream will be because I work now most days.
Yeah.
So I don't know when the next stream will be. It won't be next Friday because I know I'm working. So
there we go.
There we
We'll
go.
We'll find a day.
We'll find a go. We'll find a day.
We've got a pre-recorded video coming out at some point. Who knows?
I might do that in October to celebrate our other sort of tier list to tie in with that.
There you go.
That'd be a good little fitting thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really good. Looks good. Not listened to any of the Mark stories apart from a bit of Tartarus. Yeah. Definitely recommend the Mark stuff, Peter.
Yeah, brilliant.
Time. So yeah, I think that concludes this. Hope you enjoyed the stream and we'll see you whenever. But yeah, we might be back in a pre-recorded form or we might be back live streaming. Until then,
who knows?
We'll see you then. Thank you everyone and take care and stay safe and bye-bye.